Get nasty on a Tuesday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. 201, your time check, brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. We got you covered from 2 to 6 today. Carey back from the Bahamas, Jamie back from the lake, Marsh back from Busch Stadium. So it's going to be a great show.
I'm here.
Yeah, fired up for it.
Are you really though, Carey? Oh,
maybe not after the Bahamas, but he's
seriously.
I'm here physically.
All right, so we got a lineup already because we got an early-ish start time for the Cardinals and the Reds. It's game 2 of the series.
There might be rain happening tomorrow, so you might have to delay this game.
Well, this isn't Cincinnati.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah.
Do what you got to do, Jamie.
Marsh, that's a good
face.
Depends if you have a starter or not. Anyways.
It's a good tease for a rant that's coming up from our guy, Andrew Marsh, in what's trending a little bit. But, all right, so Andrew Abbott, a left-hander on the bump for the Reds. So we got a lefty on the hill.
Masyn Winn.
I'm thinking Masyn Winn, too.
I'm with it.
Let's go, baby. Masyn Winn for the win.
I'm watching the Futures game, and this thing's all over Instagram. It's like, this guy threw a ball 100 across the time. That's awesome. But, like, how many throwing errors does he have?
Shut up.
That's awesome.
How many throwing errors do the Cardinals have?
Well, they've got 12 errors in 12 straight games.
All righty. I just checking.
And they're playing better.
And they're winning. See, guys?
How about that? We talk so much about the defense and this and that. All you have to do is start booting the ball around and start winning games.
Fine. Play guilty.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So is Newbar, do we think Newbar's back?
Or do we think Goldie's here? Goldie's been heating up.
3 home runs in 2 games.
Yeah.
2 on Sunday night, 1 yesterday. You think Goldie's back here?
I don't know. I think we have to consider it. I think we have to consider it.
All right.
Because Newt, are you okay with Goldie? You're apprehensive, Carey.
A little bit.
Okay.
I think you put Newt here. I think it's working well.
All right.
Goldie is having...
You know what, Carey? You seem passionate about this.
I'm not passionate about anything.
No, I can see in your
now.
eyes. It's mostly bloodshot, but still.
This is the first day in 4 days I haven't had a beverage in my hand. I don't know what's going on.
Well, let's change that.
We need to fix that.
You got to get me back where I need to be.
With you.
Said Dirt Cheap delivers, right?
They do. Dirt Cheap. Get on the app. Great delivery.
So what are we...
Thank you.
What are we thinking?
Thank you. Large new bar. Show us large new bar.
What makes you think she's a...
Hang on. Well, she seems feisty, though, today.
Hold on.
A newt? Got better.
No, I don't think
All right.
All right. So,
I'm able to separate things. I can separate things.
so is this Goldschmidt?
I think it has to be. I mean,
I do
Goldie's
too.
been stroking it really good, Anthony.
Yes, he has,
been
Jamie.
watching,
Good
huh?
call. Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show us. Paul Goldschmidt.
Gold! Rich with gold! Gold!
Okay, so Arenado was 5th yesterday.
Yeah. And he's
didn't
disgusted with himself.
He hates himself. He's not feeling good with himself at all.
I like that about him though. Like he's he's
passionate,
scrappy,
angry, grumpy. I like guys like that.
Yeah, I like guys who hit the ball too.
Well, wow. We didn't have to do that.
Sorry. You know what, guys? I apologize. I'm
He's
sorry.
Trying. Like, what are you talking
It's nice
about?
of you to apologize like that. Shows maturity.
Yeah. I'm getting
growth.
wise
Yes.
in my
All right, so
old age.
is this Ivan Herrera?
It didn't work last game. And if we know anything about Ollie, if it didn't work.
All right. He scratches it. So what do you think, Jamie?
No, I have no thoughts. I really don't. Because I just don't know. I don't know if Arenado, if that was a one-day thing and now Nolan's been, quoted with all these things. And I just
Nolan
don't know.
Arenado.
All right, go for
Let's
it.
not overthink it. Show us Nolan Arenado.
Sorry, guys.
Darn it.
Okay.
Oh, look at you, Ollie. Good for you.
So I think it's Herrera.
Mad at him, yeah.
Show him. That'll show him. I think it's Herrera.
I think it is too.
All right.
Show us Ivan Herrera.
I'm just going to say this right now. I think Ivan Herrera is going to hit a home run right here. Marsh just literally called that. Marshy had a vision.
This is your guy here, Anthony.
Show us Nolan Arenado.
He's a Gold Glove winner and perennial All-Star.
Oh, listen to Mr. Gold Glove over here.
Come on. This got to be our guy Burley here at 6, no?
Oh, yeah. Yep, go for it.
He has been really good.
Yes.
Show us. Alec, show us Biscuit.
You know, kind of closed my eyes and swung at it and did what I wanted to do.
Burley to the rescue!
Apparently that's his name, is Biscuit.
How about him trucking around Saturday?
Did you hear what he said about that?
No.
I was told I was running slightly above average. Something like that. It was awesome.
I thought the celebration after he slid home was as much for the call being, that he was safe, as well as him just making it.
Just
he was just celebrating the fact that he had made it.
But I can't help but be excited for a guy like that.
Oh, yeah.
He's just a big country boy. Mm-hmm. He's having fun.
He's playing well.
He's playing really well.
All right, so that was 6. Who was here 7? Was this DC yesterday? I'm trying to think. I think Carlson was here yesterday.
All right, so
lefty on the bump.
Carlson does swing the bat better from the right side.
Lefty on the bump yesterday, too. So does he go right back to DC?
I forgot his stats from yesterday.
I can't remember.
Okay, so
nobody did well outside of Goldschmidt. Yeah.
What are other options?
Need a center fielder. DH is
Donovan.
Donovan's probably DH.
Against the lefty.
That'd be lefty though in your lineup. I don't know if you like that. Gorman's hit a couple of ding-dong Johnsons against lefties this year.
Yep.
But again, would you go lefty?
They've done it before.
I think this is
a big risk.
I think this is DC. I think with a lefty, you're probably gonna play Gorman and or Donovan. So I think that he goes with the right-hander here.
Go ahead. Have at it.
Go ahead.
I like CD's encouragement a lot better than yours.
I said the same thing.
You said it like a father. I know this is a bad idea. I know this is a dumb idea, son, but go ahead.
Hey, Dad, I'm going to touch this wire over here. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, what's up for you?
He'll learn a lesson. All right, show us Dylan Carlson.
Guy was playing like a
Anthony.
linebacker.
Never doubted you.
Thank you. All right,
I think this is Gorman.
Yeah.
And then Donovan or Gorman Ciani.
I think this is Gorman first.
Okay.
So go for it, Jamie.
All right, show me that popcorn.
Get your fresh organic popcorn.
Get your popcorn ready.
All right, so Ciani or Donovan.
Ciani's a right-handed bat, is he not?
He's lefty.
Is he
Ciani's a lefty.
He's a lefty.
What?
He's on.
Oh, he catches with the right hand. Yeah, he does.
So. He catches the ball with the right hand?
Yeah, and throws it with
yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
That was your problem.
Because who says they catch with the right hand? Most people say they throw with the right hand.
Yeah, I just said he caught with the right hand.
That means he throws with the left.
No, because they had a vision of him swooping into center field, and he made that sliding grab, and I just saw him catching with the right hand.
He had a great catch.
All right.
Hell.
What do you think, CD? Donovan or Ciani? Yeah, get out of there. Don't it just
please.
Yeah. Just don't even walk down that path.
I would probably say Donovan. I'm on the fence. Donovan.
They're gonna go with that double leadoff crap, Anthony.
Yeah, they are.
Donnie.
I'm with you.
I like
Go
him
ahead.
batting ninth. I actually like Ciani, but okay. Show us Brendan Donovan.
Donnie.
Hey, this headband's pretty cool.
Nice. All right. Good job, guys. We got what? One wrong?
Couple, I think.
1 or 2?
Yeah.
All right, run it for us, Marsh.
All right, leading off the shortstop, Masyn Winn, batting second in right field. Lars Taylor Tattooey Newt-Bar, batting third. First baseman, Paul Goldschmidt. Your cleanup hitter, catching Ivan Herrera, batting fifth. Third baseman, Nolan Arenado. Batting sixth, the DH, Alec Burleson. Batting seventh in center field, Dylan Carlson. Batting eighth, second baseman, Nolan Gorman. And batting ninth in left field, Brendan Donovan.
Go fair!
I don't believe what I just saw.
Home run.
All right, so I don't think We didn't have a game on Friday, so
Nope.
no home runs.
Saturday, Sunday, or Monday.
Nope.
Cardinals got a sick sense of humor, huh?
Yeah, they
hit
do.
all the home runs when we're not picking.
What the hell? All right, is Jamie still in the lead?
Jamie and I are tied.
Yeah.
At 9, Carey has 6. Anthony, you have 1.
All right. All right, so Jamie, Marsh, CD, me.
All right. Let's see here. I think Paul Goldschmidt. I think Goldie gets a hold of another one. I'm going with Goldie.
Stepping out on a limb there, aren't you?
This year it is.
Well, he's hit like three in the last couple games.
Yeah, I know. Just pick yours. Never mind mine. You take care of your own business, okay?
I'm a little grumpy, too.
You guys are laughing a lot, but I think this is a situation that the deeper we get into the show, I think the attitudes start to shift a little bit.
It always happens.
Very true. All right, Marsh.
I'm going to go with Alec Burleson
This guy.
tonight.
Every time. All right, who else you gotta go with? All right, well, give me Lars. No, yeah, give me Newt. I'll take Newt.
All right. I know he's slumping. I know he hates himself. I know he wants better for himself. Give me Nolan Arenado. He's going to hit a home run. I believe it. My soul.
Okay.
There you go. Hey, a slight omission for you guys. I thought the City Connect jerseys looked pretty good.
Yeah. Oh.
I thought the City Connect uniforms looked pretty good.
We had an entire segment.
The helmet, I still don't like.
Where you
I know.
beat up the St. Louis Cardinals
I did.
and the design team.
I did.
And told us how terrible it was. And,
I was wrong.
It takes a big man to admit that he was wrong.
I was
Very proud
wrong.
of you.
I thought the jerseys looked sweet. I liked the red and the white. I liked it a lot. I was wrong. I admit it. Still don't like the block lettering. I still agree with Jamie on that looks dumb.
What was the difference between the pictures of it and then seeing more pictures of it?
No, I didn't see the pictures of it. I saw the guys actually in uniform.
Yeah, we saw it on a broadcast, right?
Yeah.
So you still haven't seen it in person. So just out of curiosity, what was the difference for you?
Couldn't tell you.
Huh.
Don't know.
It was the lighting. It was the lighting.
It wasn't the. I just listen, guys. I saw
was
it.
Probably the lighting.
I saw the players.
It grew on you.
It grew on me.
Okay.
I thought, those look pretty good. I like the patch on the sleeve there with the fleur-de-lis. I thought it looked good. Mm-hmm.
He hated all of that a week ago.
He hated
I
it.
didn't hate it. I didn't
He
hate
hated
it.
the birds on the bat, everything.
He did hate the birds on the bat.
did. It's safe. It's
the
just
brand.
safe.
That is, you're right. The only thing you guys said that was accurate was right. I thought it was safe. I thought it was very safe to just run the same uniform, practically the same uniforms. I was wrong. Okay. I like the red and the white. Looked very good. Let's do something about the helmets and the hats, and we got something cooking. All right? That's all.
I'm with you on the hats for sure.
Okay.
You never go wrong with red and white either.
No, you cannot. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. You guys back on board this Cardinals train?
I told you where I'm at.
You're still doing
Above 500.
You're not in the Bahamas anymore.
But I wish I were.
His mind is in the Bahamas.
He's still got shades on. He's swirling his cocktail. The steel drums are in the background.
Yeah. All right. So Carey's still not on, but are we, the rest of us, jumping on this bandwagon, this train? That's next on 101 ESPN. The Great Kitchen Escape. That's what Mosby Building Arts is calling their kitchen remodel deal that they have going on. Right now, if you call to make an appointment with Mosby Building Arts to remodel your kitchen, they're going to give you a $2,500 Airbnb gift card. And that offer goes from now until June 30th. So all you have to do is call Mosby Building Arts, tell them you want to remodel your kitchen, set up an appointment, and you'll get that $2,500 Airbnb card. 314-909-1800 is the phone number, the website, callmosby.com. I'll throw those things out there at the end. But you know, if you remodel your kitchen, and if chances are, if you're thinking about remodeling your kitchen right now, you already have the idea of what you want to do. You know that the kitchen is often considered the heart of the home, where families gather to cook and eat and spend time together. In fact, the average American spends 37 minutes a day in the kitchen. And when you go with Mosby Building Arts, they do a phenomenal job of making sure that they have their own team, your own team, ready to go with you to work your kitchen remodel, design it the way you want it to. They wait until all your products are in, you know, your materials are in, and then they get started. Then they follow up each and every week with you to make sure that everything is going smoothly. If you have any questions, they follow up. The communication from Mosby Building Arts, phenomenal. So again, take advantage right now of the Great Kitchen Escape. $2,500 Airbnb gift card with a kitchen remodel. Got to call before June 30th, but go with Mosby. 314-909-1800. Call Mosby.com. Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company.
Carpenter hits it into right field. That's down for a base hit. Getting the way home is Burleson. The play at the plate. Tag! He's safe! We're tied at 4.
There you go. Sights and, the sounds. You saw the sights. You just heard the sounds from the broadcast over the weekend. Matt Carpenter played the hero over the weekend in that first game against the Cubs. I don't know how you guys felt watching that game or, going back through it with you guys being out of town, but I even though the Cardinals fell behind, they jumped out to the 2-0 lead when when Goldschmidt and Arenado collected a couple of RBIs in the bottom of the third. Nico Horner doubles, and before you know it, the Cardinals are trailing by a run. But I don't know if it's just the recent play, but I didn't feel like that was a game that the Cardinals were out of. I felt like eventually they would get the big hit, and then Matt Carpenter gets this huge single to tie it up before you know it, Donovan and Nootbaar tack on more runs. This team, there's a bit of a different feel to it right now. Maybe it's just a hot stretch and they could cool off, but this is more like the team that we expected at the start of the year. Not one that was going to compete for a pennant, not one that was going to compete for a World Series, but one that was certainly going to be more competitive than what we got a year ago. And they're starting to follow through with that. Do you guys get that sense? At the very least, you know you're going to sit down, you're going to watch a competitive game, even in a loss like yesterday.
Recently, yeah, I'll say that. I'm still somewhat apathetic to the whole thing. I really am. I don't find myself digging into the games yet. And what I mean by that is, like, if they're down by a couple of runs, I'm not stressed. But it's not because I'm confident in them. Mm-hmm. I'm just not stressed. I'm like, I don't know, whatever. They'll find a way to blow it. Or all of a sudden they're going to hit the ball. Yeah. I'm not quite there to where, yeah, I'm watching every pitch and I'm on the edge of my seat. I guess I'm still trying to figure out how they're going to hurt me.
Fair.
And if they don't, well, great. Then probably 3-4 games from now, if they keep playing the way they are, they're going to find themselves right on the heels of the Brewers. They'll find themselves in a wild card spot. And at that point, my attitude might change, which it probably will. But as of right now, I'm still waiting for the reality check. Like, is this real? What version is real? Was the start of the season real, or is this recent little streak what's real for the Cardinals? It's so polar opposite that I can't determine which version is the true version.
Okay, so Carey?
Same. Because of what we saw last year, we saw this script last year where they had the success. They beat Boston, and then they, got 2 out of 3 with Milwaukee, and they seem to be trending in the right direction. They go in and beat the Dodgers 3 out of 4. You're like, oh, we're good. We're on our way in. Then you lose a game, and then you lose another. You lose one to Cincinnati. And then, so for me, the 5-game winning streak was awesome. I think you talk about that game Saturday versus the Cubs. You had multiple players with multiple hits. Like, if you're going to be able to do that, you're probably going to have more success. Yesterday, you didn't have that. You didn't have the multiple hits by players. And so if you're stringing together one hit an inning, 3 guys out, and then a couple of innings later, another guy gets on base, but you're not able to move guys around and get multiple hits in an inning, you're probably going to struggle, and that's essentially what it was yesterday. So I'm with Jamie. Which version are we going to see day in and day out? Is it the version that you're going to get solid pitching, you're going to get 5 to 6 innings out of your starter, and then you're going to get multiple hits by your guys and your stars, Nolan Arenado eventually and Paul Goldschmidt hitting home runs and driving runners in? Or are you going to get poor play by your starting pitchers where you're giving up 3 or 4 runs in the first couple of innings? Your bats are quiet. That's essentially what we've seen. So I don't know which story the Cardinals team is right now. I don't know which version of them they are. The one concern that I do have, I don't know how you all feel, the JoJo Romero and Kittredge, and they are going to be gassed.
Yeah.
I don't know any other way to put it. Like,
saying it every
some
week.
other guys in that bullpen are going to have to play and play well and be trusted to have, innings where they can come in, high leverage innings where they can come in and get a guy out or 2 guys out. If JoJo has to pitch every damn day, his arm's going to fall off by the end of July. And so that should be a concern because he has been really good. But how long can you rely on that and depend on that?
Yeah. That one's tough. You're right. You're going to have to get other guys to step up in those middle innings.
But who do you
the 7th
trust?
inning.
You only trust 3 guys, really. In my opinion, you trust Helsley, you trust Kittredge, and you trust JoJo.
Well, we're kind of back in this isn't a shot at Mike. This is what he had, but we're back in the Mike Matheny era where he had 3 guys that he he knew he could trust. It was Manus. It was Segrist. It was, I think, Trevor Rosenthal was his closer for the majority of the stretch, and he used those guys, and it worked. But eventually, those relievers get sent through the wood chipper.
So then, why have we been saying for most of the season that John Mozeliak, he addressed the bullpen? He really didn't. He's got 3 guys, 3 arms.
There's a few guys that are injured right now.
Yeah, Middleton.
Yeah, but Middleton, we still don't know. He hasn't thrown a pitch as a Cardinal. And he might never throw a damn pitch as a Cardinal.
Jamie.
Huh?
We hear good things about him.
Yeah, okay, great. I'm not mad at him.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
No,
he
that's
hasn't
fair.
pitched yet. And Matthew Liberatore now is back to being I'm not sure.
Right.
I know we're going to get into all that later. You got Palante, but Palante's numbers down in AAA are not great at all. In fact, not good.
Well, he's back, so.
Okay, but so back to my initial question. Why did we think the bullpen was fixed? It's not. It's basically like when you had Helsley, Gallegos, and Cabrera, when they were actually pitching well, and then you pitched the snot out of them, and they broke.
Till their arms fell off.
We're no further ahead.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's a really good point. It's because, though, to answer your question, it's because the bullpen has been great. The problem is, I think what Carey's doing, and he's right, is he's foreshadowing here. You're foreshadowing some problems because you keep using the same guys. But to your overall statement, yeah, I mean, you don't have a complete bullpen right now. Ali is going to have to go through these guys. Why? Because Ali's trying to win games, and if you can only count on 3 guys, that's a problem. So you're right. Somebody's going to have to step up here. Be nice if Liberatore knew if he was going to be a starter, a reliever, or whatever, because he was pretty damn good. That was another option in April.
I think he probably knows he's a bullpen arm now, especially since,
you know, didn't go well.
Entire city was in on him not pitching.
Well, Marsh has got thoughts on that a little bit later, if not right now. Let's get to what's trending. Marsh's rant on Friday night on 101 ESPN.
Gentlemen, FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, has got us covered, but especially with the NBA playoffs, and it's not too late to get in on the action. Carey, right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet.
Yeah, Jamie, that's $150 to use on same-game parlays, live bets, championship futures, and so much more. There's no better place to bet all the playoff action than America's #1 sportsbook. Half of that championship future is already set with the Boston Celtics waiting on who's going to win between the Mavs and the Timberwolves.
They're waiting
on the Mavs.
There we go.
So it should be a good matchup.
Yeah, it certainly will be. Looking forward to that. Yeah, unfortunately, the conference final's not great, but that's why you wager on it, right? That's where you go to FanDuel. They've got all the action. They got the same game parlays, the live bets that Carey was just talking about. You can build your own parlays. It's all great at FanDuel, but you do have to use our promo code, FanDuel.com/fast, to get started. Then you get the $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet, all courtesy of FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Must be 21 or older and present in Illinois. First online real money wager. Only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is now withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a SportsCenter update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals took 2 of 2 over the weekend against the Chicago Cubs. However, yesterday they lost 3-1 to the Cincinnati Reds. They'll take on Cincinnati once again tonight as Kyle Gibson takes them out, going up against Andrew Abbott. Early start time of 5:40. Tonight on 101 ESPN, you can listen to game number 4 between the Florida Panthers and the New York Rangers. The Rangers lead that series 2-1. Coming up next, we have What's Trending. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this SportsCenter update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. For those that don't know, regular listeners know that we have a Fastlane text chain between Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, and me. And on Friday night, we started to get a series of texts from our guy, Andrew Marsh, who was a little hot down at Busch Stadium. They started rolling in, what would you say, Marsh, about 9 o'clock or so, maybe 9:30?
Yeah.
And then he came in today just as fired up about what transpired at Busch Stadium on Friday night. I'm going to just tease it with this. Andrew Marsh, and I quote, Cardinals are ripping off their fans. Without further ado, Andrew Marsh.
Yeah, let me preface this by saying that I'm not a reporter. I have no idea if what I am about to say is factual by any means. It's just my opinion, my emotions as a fan on Friday night. So I have some receipts that I got. I have a whole book of stuff.
He's got notes.
He does.
Let's start off with just Major League Baseball's rain delay rules. According to the rules of Major League Baseball, the home team is the sole judge as to conditions of the playing field prior to the start of the game. The umpire-in-chief shall be the sole judge as to whether and when plays shall be suspended during a game because of unsuitable weather conditions or the unfit condition of the playing field, as to whether and when the play shall be resumed after such suspension, and as to whether and when a game shall be terminated after such suspension. And it goes on to say a bunch of other stuff. And I was talking with Lou. Lou is one of our listeners. Me and him were having an exchange on Twitter, and he was sort of pushing back to that idea that the Cardinals were not in charge of who makes those decisions. And so he sent me a picture saying the umpire crew chief is the one in charge. But it says once the home team manager hands his lineup card to the umpire shortly before the game is to begin, then the umpire crew chief has sole discretion. Guys, last time I checked, the lineup card is given to the umpire roughly, I'll even say 10 minutes, probably 5 minutes before first pitch. But let's get into that because first pitch was at, 7:15? At least it was supposed to be at 7:15. Katie Wu, who was pretty locked in, works for The Athletic, friend of 101 ESPN, tweeted out at 6:34, tonight's game against Chicago will begin in a delay. Estimated start time is to be determined. So that's 6:34. That's roughly 40 minutes before what would have been the start time of the game. And so I'm like, all right. And by the way, I'll kind of break down what I was going through. Heading down the ballpark, I go to Ballpark Village before the game starts, or allegedly, because there's no start time. We get another tweet.
Got our first allegedly.
Yeah.
We get another tweet. Katie Wu comes out, says, Cardinals say the estimated start time for tonight is 7:55, weather permitting. The weather, for what it's worth, does not look good at 8 p.m. So let's keep that in mind. The weather.
Quick question.
Yes.
Andrew. At 7:15, was it raining?
No, it was not. So this tweet was
Okay.
This tweet was put out at 7:13. Estimated start time 7:55. By the way, the rain is supposed to hit around 8 o'clock. So now the start time is 7:55. Everyone, hey, we got start time.
Had it rained up until that point?
No, it had not. So let's head into the ballpark.
So they could have squeezed in almost half a game.
Probably.
Let's head into the ballpark because we got a start time, 7:55. We head in there about 10 minutes before, get some food, get some drinks.
Can you repeat that last thing?
Get some food, get some drinks.
Were they free?
No.
Okay, so you bought food.
You bought food.
Pay for parking,
You
too.
bought
To get down there.
drinks at the ballpark.
parking, of
Concessions are open.
Concessions are open.
Got it.
No baseball play, though.
I sit down in my seat and, well, I didn't know. Like Derek Gould tweeted out at 7:46, 9 minutes before the start time, the supposed new start time. Start time for the Cardinals Cubs remains delayed back to be determined per team official. Will not be 7:55 p.m. as previously advertised. Everybody's in the ballpark at this point, and we're waiting.
You want baseball.
I want baseball. Still has not rained. So then I tweet out at, let's see here. I took a picture. I remember I took a picture, and for those that follow me on Twitter, you would know that I tweeted out at 8:17. Great night for a rain delay. Still not raining. 8:17. Tark was on the field. 8:31. Here it comes. I tweet out.
Timestamp.
8:31. About, roughly 15 minutes later, here comes the rain. Light rain. Not enough to cancel a ball game. 10 minutes later, Derek Gould tweeted out at 8:41 the game had been postponed. So in that 10 minutes of light rain, that was enough to cancel the game. Here's the thing. This is a brilliant move by the Cardinals because they do not have a fifth starter. Who would have started that game? Probably Matthew Liberatore or Andre Palante, whoever you want to throw in there. Matthew Liberatore in his last 3 starts against the Chicago White Sox, 3 2/3.
Cubs.
Well, hang on, Anthony.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I did it again. I apologize.
3 2/3. LA Angels, 3 1/3. Boston Red Sox, 3 innings. Probably not good for your bullpen, right? Especially if you start and then there's a delay and Michaelis has to be taken out.
True.
Andre Palante, the most innings he pitched as a starter is 8 innings. Pretty good back in 2022. In Memphis, his starts, the last 3 starts, 3 innings, 5 innings, 4 1/3. Still probably not good enough to help your bullpen.
Right.
So that's a brilliant move if that is what they wanted to do.
Well, a little more information for your story, too, Andrew, is I did some digging myself today.
Love it.
And so apparently our guy Imanaga was ripping a bullpen session, like getting ready to play. And apparently Miles Michaelis was simply just playing catch out there. No bullpen, no getting ready, no like. So I don't know if Miles had his Doppler radar out and could tell that the game was not
He's a
going to
gamer.
happen, or if maybe Miles had some information as to don't worry about getting all warmed up because there's not going to be a game tonight.
Some pure gamesmanship by our Cardinals.
So now,
If that's the case, of course.
but it is
allegedly.
genius because now you didn't have to face Imanaga, and you didn't have to pitch Liberatore. Like that's a double swing right there, boys.
Yeah.
Brilliant move.
Yeah, because
Brilliant move.
Imanaga did not obviously pitch the next day. Michaelis did.
Michaelis did.
That's right.
And you won.
And
Had a
Liberatore
bullpen
didn't have to
session.
start any of those games.
No, sir.
Here's the thing.
And you won them both.
Yes, correct.
I was a little ticked off, and I probably wouldn't have brought it up.
Sure.
If a monsoon didn't come through last night, where the field was literally it was underwater.
Yeah, the water was
saw
coming down
that.
those steps. Pretty good.
Wait, they played a baseball game last night.
Yeah, apparently it drains the field drains very well. The grounds crew is incredible.
Yesterday than there was on Friday.
That's
and you know
correct,
what?
yeah.
At 9 o'clock, I will say I'm at Ballpark Village. It did rain for about 20 to 30 minutes. Not light rain. It rained. But again, if that is the rain that was supposed to come in, why did you not just cancel the game instead of saying at the original start time of 7:13 that Katie Wu tweeted out, the weather does not look good at 8 o'clock. So that is the rain that you were expecting to see. But let's have the game start at 7:55 and then 10 minutes before everyone comes into the ballpark to watch the start time, the game is then delayed.
You asked a question, right?
Yeah, hand is up.
Yeah, because you said, why would you do that?
Yes.
Money is why you do that.
Interesting.
It's crazy. What'll happen is even people at Ballpark Village, because, it's an extension of the Cardinals. Money being spent there, and then the people who are hurrying into the ballpark, and now they want to keep their buzz going because it's the start time's basically an hour later, so they've already got a few Bud Lights in them. They're like, oh, yeah.
Feeling good.
And so what they'll do here is they get all that concession money, which is brilliant. And then the next time they play that game, they'll also get a second kick at the can for concessions for the same game.
Not bad.
You might be onto something.
Not bad.
I'm just saying, hypothetically, that could have happened.
Hypothetically, allegedly, yeah, a lot of things going on here. One thing for sure.
You got to miss one of the best pitchers in baseball right now. So, I mean,
smart move.
If you're the Cardinals. No, Shota.
Oh, okay.
The Cubs pitcher. Sorry.
I thought you were talking about Artie.
Yeah, no,
the other guy. I apologize.
So the bigger question I have is, how many more rain delays can you pull out of your hat? Like, every 5 days, can you pull a Bull Durham? Get us a rain delay?
It's not a bad thought. Especially given, as Marsh pointed out, it's the bullpen and the fifth starter issues. Yeah.
I mean, if you can.
I've been down there before, too, where it's like, oh, there's a tornado warning. Everybody pile into the concourse. The concourse there. Don't forget, concessions are still open. And don't forget, game's still going to be played.
Don't forget, the merchandise store's open.
Yep.
I think it's
hour later. Sorry about this. We're going to have to cancel.
To me, it's bothersome because, and by the way, this does not take away the fact that I really have enjoyed what the Cardinals have been doing. I love the game on Saturday. I love the game on Sunday. The Cardinals have been playing good baseball. Yesterday, different story, whatever. But that does not take away the fact that as a fan on Friday night, and I'm not sure how other people feel about it, but I'm sure there are people that went to the game on Friday that feel the same way that I do. They just don't have a microphone in front of their face.
You're the voice of the people.
I'm the voice of the people right now.
I actually love the timeline. Angry Andrew is probably a good
nice. Angry Andrew. I like that.
Angry Andrew. I mean, Marshy is so cool. Marshy is just laid back.
Yeah.
But Angry Andrew, what you just did, bravo.
This is the first time.
I'm very, very happy.
I feel like we've seen Angry Andrew.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've seen it before.
I've seen stressed Andrew.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen angry Andrew.
He's angry. He was angry.
Well, this was like determined Andrew.
Yeah.
This one
I was on a mission today.
Yeah, he was going to
get
your
point
point his
across.
Facts. I mean, they were
timeline
perfect.
was amazing.
We did get a text from the 314 said they still had to pay all the employees, so not like they made that much. So let's isolate this text for a second. So if they would have not strategically set it up, they would have had to pay all those employees anyway.
Either way.
So that was a loss on the evening for them. So now the fact that they didn't make that much, that's a profit.
Do you have DeWitt's number? That you want to check and make sure that that's not his number that texted in?
I will.
That's incredible.
Let's see here.
To me, while you look up DeWitt's number, for me, this is just another one of those just instances where they're not getting it right with the fans. They're not transparent with the fans.
It's close, but it's not.
Yeah.
It seemed sketchy to me.
You know, when Jamie and I had the now defunct Stalter and Rivers, we used to say something. Yeah. We used to say something to either our producer or listener. When you say that, Andrew, you're not wrong.
You're not wrong,
but Jamie's right about the money aspect.
Yeah.
They're gonna make some money.
So to the family of four that went to the game on Friday and paid probably $30 to $40 in parking and upwards to $100 in concessions and probably the new City Connect jerseys at the team store. Congratulations. You get to do it again on July 13th.
All right, that's what's trending. Well done, Marsh. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Marsh very passionate about that.
Let's go Cards. All right. I got it back in. Hey, let's get a win tonight.
Let's do this. Do the Cardinals go as Paul Goldschmidt goes? It's next on 101 ESPN. Make sure you get down to Auto Centers Nissan out in Herculaneum to check out their May Day deals. In fact, you can go online to autocentersnissan.com. But right now, you can take advantage of their May Day deals, which include these available incentives on select new Nissans. We're talking about 0% APR and payment terms all the way up to 84 months. They've got no down payment needed and 3 months of no payments, which is a great incentive, or up to $5,000 off MSRP on new Nissan models. So if you're looking at a new Nissan Rogue or a new Nissan Pathfinder, a Nissan Altima, they've got them at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. They also have, because they have over 700 vehicles all in one location, all out in Herculaneum. You don't have to drive around. They got it all right there in Herculaneum. They've got pre-owned vehicles as well, different makes, different models. So whether you're looking for a car, a truck, a van, an SUV, again, they've got them at Auto Centers Nissan. As always, all Nissans at Auto Centers come with their exclusive complimentary lifetime warranty, complimentary 1-year maintenance, and their 30-day return promise. Financing options available for everyone that walks through the door. It's Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. Don't forget to check them out online at autocentersnissan.com. Do the Cardinals go as Paul Goldschmidt goes? It certainly feels like the offense coming alive coincides with Paul Goldschmidt getting hotter and finding his swing. That started in Milwaukee. You could tell when he took that one to the right side in the previous day, and then the following day he had a massive hit to spark a comeback and a victory for the Cardinals. It does, again, the offense does seem to coincide with Goldie finding his swing. I don't know if I'm quite there to say that the offense goes as he goes, because you're getting some contributions from a lot of different guys. But what do you think? What do you guys think?
Well, the offense was going before Goldie and Arenado. Like, those were the two guys we were literally talking about last week, saying this offense is going, and Goldie and Arenado really haven't contributed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Goldie since then has picked it up, and he's been really good offensively. Nolan Arenado continues to struggle. I know we're going to talk about that a little later today, too, that he realizes he's struggling and is kind of perplexed as to what the heck's going on.
But not tonight.
Not tonight.
I picked him for a home run.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Yeah, well, he was struggling.
Thank
Anthony.
you.
So it would be, 2 years ago was definitely how Goldie and Arenado went, the team went.
Mm-hmm.
But last year was just kind of a write-off period. And I look at this year, there's a lot of guys that are having a lot of success not named Goldie or Arenado.
Yeah.
So I think that they've actually got some really good depth offensively, especially with the emergence of Masyn Winn, who is, he's just absolutely on fire. He's on top of almost every category in Major League Baseball when it comes to shortstops, never mind his Rookie of the Year possibility. So he's playing fantastic. Newt has heated up. Alec Burleson is having himself a career year right now. Nolan Gorman is heating up. So I think that those other guys, the depth scoring is really what's helped the Cardinals. Can you imagine if Goldie and Arenado both got hot along with the rest of the lineup?
Yeah. That'd be nice.
It helps. It definitely helps having Paul Goldschmidt hit home runs and driving runners in. We talked about it all last week or a couple of weeks ago when he wasn't doing it. It was really the one thing that you expected to happen was him to start heating up at some point, and he has. But I said this before, that when you are the star of a team, when you start doing your job, your star stuff, it makes life easier on everybody else. If Wayne Gretzky is scoring goals at the clip that he normally is, it makes life easier when you can get a pass to him, or when eyeballs are on him and he passes it back to you, you can shoot it. So it's just what you have to be if you're a superstar. If you're being paid that way, you got to perform at that level. And I think you're seeing the best version of this team right now because you're getting the best version of your better players.
It also goes to show you, too, with the fact that they've got 12 errors in 12 games. And the errors are being committed by your dudes, too. Masyn Winn, excellent young defensive shortstop. He's committing errors. Saw another one yesterday when the ball kind of went under his glove a little bit. Nolan Arenado.
You're tough to please.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oof. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you miss the part where I said an excellent young shortstop? You're just focusing in on, you're that guy?
On the
just
negative.
Focusing on that guy?
Well, you kind of highlighted it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Is that a concern?
You highlighted it. This is on you. Anyways.
Is that a concern?
As of right now, 12 errors in 12 games, yes. I think that's a concern.
Because at some point, we talked about it. You got to take care. You got to take care of the ball.
Yes.
Like in football, you got to take care of the football. You can't turn it over. You can't fumble it. You got to take care of the ball in baseball. You got to make sure you field it properly. You throw it to the correct person so he can catch it and not over his head or bouncing and all of those things. That to me can become a concern. Couple that with your relievers pitching every damn day, and I think at some point you're going to have to sew their arms back on. But other than those two things, we're good, right?
We are winning more games, though.
Cool.
Okay, let me ask you
when
this.
does it?
Watch. Oh, can I, may I?
Please do.
Hey, the errors are being committed by your dudes. All right, Masyn Winn, Nolan Arenado, Paul Goldschmidt. You know they're not going to make a bunch of errors moving forward here, so not that. It'll get corrected.
Do you know?
Spin rate.
Do you know that, though?
Spin rate.
I saw it, Anthony.
Know what I mean? These guys you're not worried about. They're the ones making the errors defensively.
So don't worry about it.
Are we worried about Arenado overall?
Yes.
Because
it's domed up.
No.
Well,
what?
CD, hang on, CD. One, he's ice cold at the plate power-wise this year.
He's got 3 home runs.
Also is booting the ball a lot more than he has. Like last year at the start of the year, he booted the ball a few times.
Yeah.
It did not look like Nolan Arenado. Now, the second half of the season, it was pretty locked down. Now, he's made some highlight reel plays again this year, like the one barehander last week where he's running in, grabs it, and zips it over there. Like, that's vintage. But I'm kind of worried that the wheels are kind of maybe not falling off, but they're wiggling for Nolan Arenado, because if defensively he's committing errors that maybe he doesn't historically commit, and now his bat is not historically what it was, like, what are you stuck with now?
The thing that I find interesting about Nolan Arenado,
expensive player,
seriously,
is I think his glove and his bat go hand in hand. Like they go together.
Yeah.
Like if he's struggling with one, he's generally struggling with the other. We saw that, like you said, at the beginning of last season. He wasn't hitting the ball well. He wasn't fielding the ball well. Last year's first time, he didn't get a Gold Glove. Like he was struggling to start the season off, and then he got it corrected where there were no more errors and there was no more issues at the plate. That's kind of strange for me because most people, even if you're struggling in one facet of the game, most people could say, okay, at least I'm going to field the ball cleanly and make plays because that's what I do well. Or if I'm stinking it up in the field, well, hell, I got this bat. I'm going to help my team in that way. If he's struggling in one, he seems to be struggling in both. And maybe it's all in his head. He has to somehow separate himself from that and just get dialed back in and doing what he needs to do. A home run would assist with that. A
like
couple
tonight, for example. Great American Small Park. Ball flies there, Carey.
Even
Ball
at
flies
night?
there. Absolutely.
All right.
Anthony,
At night,
over the
in
weekend,
morning,
I was
in the
wondering
afternoon.
a few things, but one thing in particular is
this should be good.
No, and it might just be a little too much work for this crew. No disrespect to all of us. But should we have players that are trending upward and downward? So like Nolan Arenado tonight, if he hits a home run, he's only worth 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
But
he should
theoretically,
be worth
he's trending
like 5.
downward. He should be worth 2 or 3.
We got to go. No.
But then how do we project, like how do we...
I think that's too much work.
How do we equate the value of each at-bat? Like, Carey, I think we personally designate you for the job.
I think, Carey, you're perfect
if we're gonna ask me to do it, I say we leave it how it is. You did a fantastic job of giving it tiers and making sure that everyone was slotted based on their careers, not one season, right? Not one stretch during said season. It's just too much work. You want to go off of a body of work, which you did such a stellar job of giving those 3 tiers, which actually 4 tiers because if they come off the bench, that's a 5-pointer. So you did an amazing job.
Good.
Yeah. All right.
Look who just woke up.
He's back. I'll put it in my notebook. I'll do it.
Marsh has got it.
We get a text from the 90. Marsh, I have a question for you. Is Anthony actually trying to win the home run game, or is he just throwing in the white flag? Because the guys he picked just don't make any sense as to why he's picking them. Like, why would you pick Nolan Arenado if you're trying to win?
Okay, take it easy. Take it easy. I've taken guys that... I've taken Nolan Gorman after he hit, 3 in 2 games or whatever. I've done that. I've done the smart thing.
Have you?
Done the common sense thing. Now I'm going the other way. Doing it my way.
You're just trying to get guys going.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the thing. What I would love to hear from that texter is, wow, isn't Anthony great? He's such a big Cardinals fan. He's trying to get these guys going. He's willing to sacrifice not potentially winning the home run derby so that he could get our boys going. That's really swell. That's really nice of him. That's what I would love to hear. But that's okay. Not all heroes wear capes. Know what I mean?
No, I totally agree.
All right.
Yeah.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. Depth versus superstars. I think we're seeing that in one of the conference finals matchups in the NHL. We'll get into it next on 101 ESPN.
If you are thinking about selling your home coming up here, please call Gloria Lou with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. How about if I told you that you could sell your home, get the cash, and stay in your home for up to 12 months while you find or build your next home? Gloria Lou is able to eliminate the traditional hassles of buying and selling at the same time. And look, let's be honest. In today's real estate market, cash offers are popular because they offer a fast sale for those who need it. However, While most investors or quick sale companies give you just one cash offer, my friend Gloria Lou will give you multiple cash offers to choose from in minutes. No open houses, sell as is, and move when you want. That is the type of service that you deserve from Gloria Lou, who, by the way, has thousands of buyers ready, willing, and able to purchase your home in her database. And Gloria Lou is going to direct them to your listing and get that home sold as fast as possible. And all you have to do is call Gloria Lou, tell her that Jamie Rivers sent you in. That number's 314-325-6888. Again, that's 314-325-6888. Or you can always visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
In the Western Conference Finals between the Oilers and the Stars, are we seeing the depth of the Dallas Stars versus the superstars? So another way to put it would be the top of the roster is outstanding for the Oilers, but they don't have the depth. We've talked about this. Stars don't have a bunch of superstars. Pun intended there, I guess. Yeah.
They just have stars.
They just have stars.
There you go.
There's the pun.
Yeah. I don't even think they have stars, though. Which is the point. They've got more depth. So, Jamie, are we about to see what's more important in terms of roster construction and roster building in this series specifically?
Yeah, so ultimately, the best case scenario is having superstars and depth. And the closest we've come to that, or the best version that we've seen of that, was the Tampa Bay Lightning when they went back-to-back. But let's remember Tampa Bay Lightning years leading up to that. They had the superstars, and they still did nothing in the playoffs. And then finally, Julian Breezeblatt and Steve Yzerman and John Cooper got together and figured out, hey, guess what? We need to surround our superstars with some good depth. And that's where they brought in guys like Pat Maroon, had Barclay Goodrow. They had guys on defense, McDonough, other guys, Zach Bogosian got brought in because you needed to strengthen the entirety of the lineup. So if we isolate the Oilers and the Dallas Stars right now, that's where the Oilers are. They've got the superstars. Draisaitl and McDavid both have 25 points in 15 games. Then Evan Bouchard, who's a power play machine for the Oilers, he's got 22 points in 15 games. Then there's a drop-off. You got Nugent Hopkins, Zach Hyman. Those guys are still producing, but then you go down to like 17 points, 16 points, then it goes down to 7 points.
Oof.
So the depth of the Oilers, and that's Evander Kane, 15 games, 7 points. And then pick your horse after that. Everybody's below that. So you really have 3-4 guys at the top of your list that are doing all your damage. If we flip over to the Dallas Stars, they don't have as quite the numbers that are quite as impressive. But Robertson's got 16 points in 16 games. Then Heiskan's got 15, 14, 13, 12. Like, there's a larger number of players that are contributing for the Dallas Stars. And the roster construction that you see with the Dallas Stars is much better.
Yes.
Their defensive core, you got 6 defensemen that are able to actually play at any point. You're not scared to death to have your bottom pair out there against McDavid. Right. You'd rather have your top pair, but you're not going to panic if there's a matchup that's just like undesirable. The Oilers right now, like, this is really where I worry about them in the next couple of years, because Darnell Nurse, their defenseman, who's supposed to be their number 1 defenseman, by the way, he's making $9.5 million a year. He's minus 12 in 15 games. They can barely play him right now. But they're paying him $9.5 million. So if Edmonton, for some reason, gets eliminated by the Dallas Stars this year, like, you have to go back to the drawing board. You have to figure out how to continue to build this roster. Problem is, you have guys like Darnell Nurse that are roadblocks. And you've got, Jack Campbell, who's not even on your roster right now. He's making $6 million as a goaltender that you're not even thinking about putting in the games right now.
Right.
So the Oilers, again, have the top-heavy superstars, but the lack of depth might ultimately be what costs them.
And you want the superstars. You want to build around superstars. You want to have Connor McDavid. You want Leon Draisaitl. You want those skill sets. But you're right, Jamie. It also puts so much on those guys that if they don't produce, you don't have the depth. Even when they do produce, you might not have the depth. So you want them on your roster. You want the opportunity to build around them, but you have to be really skilled when it comes to the draft, finding gems on other rosters, finding free agents that are undervalued based on their price, that you can get a lot more out of them in terms of production. It's a challenging job. He's, you got Connor McDavid. What else do you need? You need a lot. It's a team.
Well, you see this in basketball, too. We talked about the Suns and their big 3. Who the hell else you got? Because if those 3 are doing all the scoring, it's hard if you don't have the caliber players to continue to score when those guys got to take a rest. When
I was their 6th man this year, Carey, and I can't play.
Yeah, that's not great.
No, not at all.
So it is nice to have superstars, but your best teams, as Jamie said, are when you have those superstars, but you have a well-rounded team of guys that can produce to the level if the superstars are having an off night.
Yeah.
As it pertains to the Blues, we've talked about it sometimes, here and there, that maybe this team needs a superstar. They haven't had one in a long time. But do they really need that in order to be successful? And I think the way that they're building their team now with these young players, I feel like here in the next 3 or 4 years, they can get back to where they were, at least, maybe not winning the Stanley Cup, but at least being relevant in the playoffs.
Yeah, so let's go back to 2019. We love to live in the past here in St. Louis. Let's go back to that, because that was ultimately the most successful season in franchise history.
Great year.
It was a great year. Who is their superstar on that team?
Oh, it was, they didn't have one.
I would argue that it was Alex Pietrangelo. Okay, because he's a number 1 defenseman, but people automatically go, well, they had Vladimir Tarasenko. Vladimir Tarasenko had yet to even have a season with a point a game in his career. He's yet to have that season. So I don't consider that to be a superstar.
For that season alone, that half of a season alone, did Binnington kind of emerge as?
Of course he did.
Because it was more of a story than it was like a Connor McDavid-esque rise. But I would argue, at least from a story standpoint, it was Binnington.
I would agree with that. My point overall, though, is when you're looking back again, Tampa Bay is kind of the outlier because they managed to get both the talent. But how did they do that, by the way? They sucked for a number of years and accrued first-round picks. They got Hedman, Stamkos, Kucherov, Braden Point. Like, they loaded up with really good talent and then filled in the gaps with good depth from around the NHL. But it still took them a while to figure out the code. And once they did, obviously, they went on a run. 2 in a row, 3 Stanley Cups in however many years. But if you look at last year again, the Vegas Golden Knights won, and Jack Eichel, I think, had 67 points. Now, he didn't play every game, but the Vegas Golden Knights, one would argue, they didn't have a superstar, which they didn't. Again, I'd look at Eichel and Alex Pietrangelo as the 2 guys that'd be like, okay, those are your pillars, but you don't find those guys anywhere in the top 20, top 30 in scoring in the NHL.
Right.
And your Conn Smythe winner was Jonathan Marchessault, who, in my opinion, he's not a superstar. He's a really good hockey player, but a really good depth piece for that Vegas Golden Knights team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. And so I think ultimately it's fun to have the high-flying players out there, and it all leads back to what I've said for a long time now. You can win regular season games with a team that scores off the rush. You cannot win in the playoffs with a team that scores off the rush. You have to have depth pieces, heavy players, guys that control the puck well, cycle the puck down low, wear down your opponent. That's the only way you're going to win in the NHL playoffs. And even the Tampa Bay Lightning, with all the skill that they had, played a very down below the hash marks game on each of their runs to where they won the Stanley Cup. So you really have to think as a general manager, what looks good in the regular season, like what's sexy in the regular season, but what really works to win championships.
Yeah, and that's a great point, and we're seeing that again this year. I mean, it's a sign every single year, right? Yep. Like it's an opportunity to rediscover something. Yeah.
I mean, where are the Toronto Maple Leafs right now?
Well, they're out.
They're on the golf course.
Yep.
We'll see how Craig Berube
got a new head coach.
We'll see how he affects that roster construction moving forward.
Oh, I'm sure he's going to do a fantastic job. We're going to play Are You Sold next. If you have an Are You Sold, send it into the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Again, Are You Sold next in the Fast Line.
Ooh, baby. Paul Goldschmidt has been hitting the home runs, the slam-a-lim-a ding-dongs. Gotta like that. Everybody loves the home runs, Carey. You know that. Mm-hmm. And with FanDuel's Dinger Tuesdays, you can love them even more, Carey. That's right. Dinger Tuesdays are back for another season on America's #1 sportsbook.
Yeah, Jamie, all you have to do is bet on the player to homer. FanDuel will give you $5 in bonus bets for every home run they hit during that game, as if you needed another reason to love the long ball. You have the Nolan Arenado for the home run tonight. If he hits 1, 2, 3, you get all of that, and it's all you have to do is visit FanDuel.com/fast to get in on all the Dinger Tuesday action.
Yeah, we're going to jumpstart Nolan tonight. So he's going to hit a home run, and like Jamie told you, FanDuel's going to give you the $5 in bonus bets for every home run hit during that game. But as Carey mentioned, you got to visit FanDuel, FanDuel.com/fast, and then you can make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Must be 21 or older and present in Illinois. Bonus dishes now withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max bonus, $25 per game. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh. Time for Are You Sold here in the Fast Lane. You can send in an Are You Sold statement via the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Marsh, go.
All right, from the 618, are you sold on the fact that the Cardinals will stand pat on this fifth starter and keep every single fifth start in-house and not trade for a fifth starter or fourth or hell, if they're feeling wild, a legit number 2?
So are we sold on them staying in-house, basically, for the fifth starter? Absolutely, positively not. The Cardinals are telling us right now what they feel is appropriate for their minor league pitchers. They're not bringing up Gordon Graceffo. They haven't brought up Sam Robersa. They haven't done any of that. They haven't
all
called
these guys are pitching grease BBs down there.
Correct. So they're telling us that they want to, and I'm not saying this is right or wrong. I'm just saying they're providing the roadmap for us, which is we're not bringing up our young guys. So I'm not sold on that. I think they'll either stick with Steven Matz, and if he gets hurt again, they'll go outside the organization at some point for a starter.
I think they can only do the smoke and mirrors one more time through here. And what I mean by that is
the rain delay.
The Andre Palante experiment, like whatever you want to do, whatever your version of smoke and mirrors is what's happening here every 5 days for the Cardinals. And if they stay competitive, which they are right now, they're right there. And you may not like what they've done, but they're at one point, I don't have to check today. I didn't check it, but they're a half game out of the wild card. Like, that's a playoff team. And if you really want to stay a playoff team, you've got to find a fifth starter.
Yeah.
You've got to figure it out. Or you've got to start, maybe you've got to break the timeline and Graceffo's got to come up, or McGreevy, or heck, Tink Hence, who had 13 strikeouts his last game.
Do it.
Like, I know that's a big jump from double-A ball to Major League Baseball, but, like, you've got to try and figure it out. What if he's ready, man? What if he comes up and he can go 4 or 5 innings each start? Like, what if?
Yeah.
Now, I know you started the clock on a guy like that, and you're fast-forwarding him into the majors, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't disagree with that. I would like to see them jumpstart things with their young pitchers, but I'm just going with what the Cardinals are saying by not saying anything. They're saying that they will not
doesn't mean
start
they're right.
this.
That's
I agree
the
with
problem,
that.
because everything they've said to us before has been wrong.
But we're playing Are You Sold? And the question was, are you sold that the Cardinals are going to go with internal options?
Yeah.
I am not sold on.
I'm not sold on anything, quite honestly.
Oh,
when it comes to that,
well, come on.
What are you frowning your face off 2 seconds ago?
Whoa.
What's your problem?
I was.
Yeah, it's like someone farted in his cereal again.
Marsh. Again,
a little frustrated.
Someone farted in my cereal, Anthony. It wasn't me. The Cardinals did.
Friday night.
Friday night they did.
It's terrible.
I didn't know they sold cereal at the
You can get a lot of things at concession stands.
Yeah.
You got to be at the game, though.
Everything has a price.
Everything does have a
has
price. You're right.
All right, let's get to the 636. Are you sold that the Blues need 3 or more seasons to get back to being serious contenders?
Yeah. I do. I think 3 to 4 years is probably a really good timeline for this team to be a contender. Not a playoff team, but a contender, to where you're sitting there in the Western Conference looking at other teams going, yeah, we're right there with these guys.
Right.
And if we play our game, like, we could win the Western Conference. But I'd say 3 to 5 years is probably the perfect window. So, yes.
I think that's an honest take, and I agree with it. I mean, look, you've missed the playoffs the last 2 years. I think that Doug Armstrong has done a nice job with the roster that, let's be honest, he constructed. He handed out the contracts, and now he's trying to work within those contracts. He's trying to do the best he can to retool this thing on the fly. But 3 to 5 years, I think, is a fair window. Hopefully you're wrong, but
yeah, hopefully I'm wrong in the other way.
Yes,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, no.
I don't want to be
beyond
7 or
5.
8.
Yeah, no.
All right, guys, so City SC lost 2-1 over the weekend against the Seattle Sounders from the 636. Are you sold on City having massive support season after season, year 2, and I'm already bored of soccer? How many 0-0 or 1-0 games can people watch?
I think with this being a soccer hotbed, the participation won't be an issue. But we got the question last week about whether or not City was like a one-year fluke. I don't think they're a one-year fluke, but they haven't won a match since March.
Here's why winning is important.
Like, that's a while.
Winning is a cure-all. Winning has people showing up, has people excited. They started out 7-0 last year. Like, everyone was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. Because they were winning. Like, if you're not winning and having success, nobody cares.
What are you doing then?
They care, but the casual fan, you're not going to be able to engage the casual fan if you're not having success on the pitch or on the ice or on the field, wherever you are. Those people aren't going to spend their money to come watch if it's not a winning product. So I think City is struggling right now in general because they aren't winning games and people are not as interested as they were last year.
Yeah, and I feel like this year's version of City SC is probably what we should have expected last year. The fact that last year they came out of the gates so hot and played so well, and in a lot of the games, Roman Berkey was the hero because they were getting outshot so many games, a lot of them, and they still managed to either win the game or even play to a draw in some of them. Now this year, scoring is at a minimum. I will say this, I've paid attention enough to watch the team, and scoring is at a minimum, which is why they are making some deals. They're trying to bring in a little bit more offense. And that one goal a game does make a difference.
Yeah.
Those low-scoring games, especially the way it's been recently.
Mm-hmm. I think the diehards are going to show up regardless, and they do a great job at packing the place, and it's a great environment. I think the people that are on the fringe maybe are starting to tail off a little bit just because of, like you said, like winning is everything. Same with the Cardinals, same with the Blues. Like if a team's not winning, people aren't going to show up.
Right.
But you'll always have your diehard soccer fans.
And the one good thing City has, not one of the good things that they have going for them is that the atmosphere at City Park is off the charts.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Whereas sometimes even Blues, Cardinals games, the crowd can be a little more reserved. And if you're a casual fan, maybe you're just not as into it. But you go to City Park, even if you're just a casual fan and you're not really knowing what to expect, but the place is going berserk.
Right.
It feels a little bit better.
Yeah, you get into it.
Let's talk about the Battlehawks. This one comes from the Water Boy. Are you sold the Battlehawks will lose in the conference championship game if A.J. McCarron does not return?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
Well, probably.
Come on.
Anytime you have a quarterback, it's hard to win.
Yeah.
On any level.
On any level. But
believe me.
Well, you have your NFL quarterback. I know he wasn't a starter and all, but when you're at that level, even as a backup quarterback, that's a big advantage to have a guy like that running your offense.
Yeah.
And when you don't have that guy and you're leaning on somebody who hasn't got that resume, it makes a big difference within that locker room and with their product on the field.
Completely agree. A.J. McCarron is a huge, huge weapon and X factor for the Battlehawks. He makes that offense go. The offense is really good. The skill position players are some of the best in the XFL, if not the best in the XFL. Without A.J. McCarron, it's going to be real tough.
It's an ankle sprain, right? This high ankle sprain. Because when he did it against, Birmingham.
There you go.
The game they lost.
Not Arlington. And Birmingham lost over the weekend.
There you go.
Lost to San Antonio.
No longer. I was foreshadowing. There was no.
Right.
He said, "I think I broke my ankle." Like I heard him. You know how they. Yeah. But generally, a high ankle sprain, because I've had that happen to me, it feels like your ankle is broken. So he may be. I mean, he's been 2 weeks now. Maybe one more week, he should be able to go at playing running back or playing fullback versus playing quarterback. Obviously, two totally different things. He's not going to be pushing against anybody, so his lower half is not going to be used in that regard. But maybe one more week and he'll be back into the flow of things. Or maybe you wait until the playoffs and just make sure he's completely healthy.
You're
correct. So that might be the route you need to go as well.
Am I wrong, or is their regular season over now?
No, I think they got
one more game.
Yeah, I think they got one more game. They got pounded over the weekend
against Arlington too.
Yeah,
not a great team.
Hey, well, Carey, not to Carey.
Foreshadowing.
Carey had him undefeated
against the Battlehawks.
You've had some good spin rates. Despite still being on Bahama time, you've had some good spin rates today.
Let's do one more here, probably the most important one. From the 636, are you sold that if Jamie Rivers crafted his own bourbon, that it would usurp Jack Daniels as the best-selling whiskey of all time?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. When Jamie puts his mind to something, there's no stopping him, especially from a whiskey/bourbon/business standpoint.
Wow, Anthony. Thank you.
You are
every
a
one of
connoisseur.
it.
Thank you.
I had a brown sugar old fashioned yesterday.
Did you?
Oh, it had like some little froth on the top. It was.
Do you like the... Now, do you like it to taste sweeter?
Yeah, a little bit.
See,
like the bitter, I feel like I get drunker when it's bitter.
Okay.
More, I don't know. Maybe it's just a mental thing.
It is.
The
'cause it has
sweeter,
nothing to do with it.
the sweeter. Maybe I actually get drunker with the sweeter because I'm going to drink more of them.
They do go down quickly. I will say that. But I always ask them to go. So some people have the sugar that they put in, and some people use a simple syrup.
Yeah.
So I always tell them, I go, do you guys use the sugar or do you use the syrup? And when I say, I like, whatever you put in there, go half.
Yeah.
Because I still like to taste a little bit of that bourbon, like the burn a little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
You
Lets
want
me
to
know I'm alive.
You want it to bite.
I'm a man. Hear me roar.
Well said. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. How much should we be concerned with? No. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Boy.
Do yourself a favor tonight. If you're looking for a brand new vehicle or a pre-owned vehicle, head to AutoCentersNissan.com. Peruse their selection, and man, it's a vast selection. And then once you find a couple of vehicles that you want to test drive, head out to Herculaneum. In one location, Auto Centers Nissan has over 700 vehicles, both new Nissans and pre-owned vehicles. So whether you're looking for a car, a truck, an SUV, whatever you're looking for, sports car, Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum, again, has it for you all in one location. And they've got their May Day sales going on right now, which means you could take advantage of a couple of different available incentives on select new Nissans. No down payment and 3 months of no payments. That's one new incentives that they have. Up to $5,000 off MSRP on new Nissan models and 0% APR on payment terms all the way up to 84 months on your next new vehicle, all at Auto Centers. And as always, all new Nissans at Auto Centers Nissan come with their exclusive complimentary lifetime warranty, their complimentary 1-year maintenance, and the 30-day return promise. Within 30 days, if you're not completely satisfied with the purchase, they will refund your money for you, no questions asked. Head out to Auto Centers Nissan. Check them out online, AutoCentersNissan.com.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Over the weekend, the Cardinals took 2 of 2 against the Chicago Cubs. However, yesterday they lost to the Cincinnati Reds by a final score of 3-1. Tonight, Kyle Gibson will take the mound going up against Andrew Abbott. First pitch is at 5:40. Also, over the weekend, City SC lost to Seattle 2-1. They'll take on Miami on Saturday with a 6:30 start time. And the Battlehawks lost to the Arlington Renegades by a final score of 36-22. They'll also play on Saturday against the San Antonio Brahmas with a start time of 3 o'clock. Tonight on 101 ESPN, you can listen to Game 4 of the NHL Eastern Conference Final between the Florida Panthers and the New York Rangers. The Rangers lead that series 2-1. Coming up next, should we be concerned about Nolan Arenado? It's coming your way right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
So the segment we have pitched is, should we be concerned about Nolan Arenado? I'm going to change it to, how much should we be concerned about Nolan Arenado? Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, and Anthony Stalter. So since mid-April, where he was slugging just over 400, Nolan Arenado has slugged .324 in his last 33 games. He has 3 home runs on the year. He has struggled now at third base, where he's committed a bunch of errors. I don't know if it's a situation where he is taking his at-bats with him to third base, if it's all connected. But if you read some of John Denton's tweets over the weekend, even Arenado is saying, like, yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me right now.
Which is not good.
We kind of went through this with Paul Goldschmidt in April and some of May, and now he's turned it around. So I don't think we should, put the death nail there in Arenado this year, but this is very concerning.
Yeah, to read the quotes and what Nolan Arenado is saying about himself while being up there in the batter's box, that's concerning to me in several ways. One, because obviously, the players not having the success that they want, and the player's not helping your team as much as he should be offensively, really not helping a lot for that matter. But when you look at Nolan Arenado, he's a guy that I feel he wears his emotions on his sleeve. He takes tremendous amount of pride in being a great player, but I don't know if I like him getting so far inside his dome here that he's talking about, basically not being able to find his swing, and just that he tweaks with his swing a lot, but now he's got to continue to try and find it. He goes, you can see the difference when I was good and when I'm not, but trying to apply it in games right now, it's really hard for me.
Right.
So as he goes to the plate every single time for his at-bats, he's thinking all these things. Mm-hmm. And I just don't think that's advantageous for a guy who is so, I don't want to say he's analytical, but the way his brain works, like breaking down every aspect of his game offensively and defensively, I think he could possibly be his own worst enemy right now.
When I think Nolan Arenado eats, sleeps, and drinks baseball. Like, he doesn't strike me as a guy that does anything else. Like, that is probably his one focus. If he's not playing, he's probably watching film, watching tape, watching other guys. And sometimes to get out of a slump, you need to just step away from it. Find something else to do. Take your mind off of it, because if you're constantly thinking about it, replaying it over and over and over again, you're really reinforcing those negative thoughts, because all that it is negative thoughts. You haven't had the success to make you say, oh, yeah, now I can focus on those positive things. And so if I were, again, I don't know this to be true, but he strikes me as the type of person that's all he does. Baseball, baseball, baseball. Family, baseball, 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 baseball. And so, again, if you are in that type of mode, you might need to just give yourself a break mentally. And maybe that's on the coaching staff to give him a day off. Hey, you know what? You're kind of going through it. We saw that with Paul Goldschmidt. They gave him a couple of days where we're not going to put you in the lineup. You're not going to DH. You're not going to bat at all. Get away, step away. You come to the ballpark, be here, but you're not going to have to focus on hitting or fielding or being involved in any aspect of the game today. Just give you a short mini break and allow you to reset yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, and hopefully that works. But here's the quote that really just kind of got to me. And this is quoting Nolan Arenado. He says, "I haven't felt like me all year. It's been a while. I don't think it's gone. I still move fast, and I've gone through all the numbers and the random numbers, and they still tell me I'm moving as fast as I ever have, but there's a mechanical issue and an approach thing. I haven't been me in the last 5 months of baseball. I'm going to go back," to where he says, "I don't think it's gone." These are all things that shouldn't be in your dome. You're one of the best third basemen of all time. You shouldn't be thinking, I don't think it's gone.
Right.
You're human, and it's human nature to question things when things are going tough.
Yeah.
But to Carey's point, like,
you got to get away, or watch film of yourself when you were balling. Make yourself feel better. Like, hell, I'm great.
So Hugh from the Snake Pit, I think, brings up a good point.
Why'd you? Is that Hugh Gisoli?
I think it's Hugh Gisoli.
Hugh Gisoli. Yes.
He said, "I think he's a perfectionist, and while you're a perfectionist, you're constantly getting in your own head." Yeah, I think so too. I think he's somebody that, I remember Dunk used to say, "Man, the dumber you are, the more you don't focus on the slumps.
Yeah.
It's easier.
Yeah.
You don't even think about it, right?" So Arenado cares, and he might care. I mean, he might care a little too much, where he can't then focus on some of the solutions that might be there. Goldie seems more like somebody that, while he certainly cares a lot, he's also somebody that's going to stick with the process. He's not going to overreact. Me, when I get into a situation where I'm like, hey, I need to do something differently, and I'm constantly changing things up, looking for the answer. Sometimes you just need to let the process work itself out, work on a couple of things. Arenado might be one of those guys that is constantly changing things differently every single day. But this is somebody that did not get to where he is by accident. I am concerned, but hopefully it is a Goldschmidt situation, Carey, where he does bounce back.
But that mindset is what allowed him to be who he is. Like, it is a gift and a curse. It is a gift because you being so dialed into this one thing over and over and over and over again is why you can become a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But it also is the thing when it's going poorly, being dialed in over and over and over, it's a detriment because you don't know any other way but this way to work. It has blessed him to make a lot of money, to have a lot of success, but there are times where it gets to the point where, and you don't know how to turn it off. And so, again, that's on the coaching staff to say, we have to turn it off for you, because if you're struggling to this point where you don't recognize yourself or you don't feel like yourself, all the numbers, because clearly he just told you he's dialing in. I'm looking at the numbers. I'm searching everything. I'm seeing it. It's not adding up. Okay, you know what? Don't worry about it. Let's get a break. Because maybe it is not physical. It's mental.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when you're a guy like Nolan Arenado, who continuously tweaks things as he goes, sometimes you end up tweaking things so much you forget where the start point was.
Yes.
And that's why a reset is almost imperative, to where he gets away for maybe 5 days and he gets back to the video of watching what he did 2 seasons ago and working with the hitting coach or whatever hitting guru he wants to work with, of getting back to that. Because I think he's gotten, it's like branches off the tree. So many little branches that by the time you get to where you're at, you don't remember how you got there.
Right.
And that can be damaging to a player.
Where are we?
Yeah.
All right. Do the Cardinals, or do we still have concerns about the 5th spot in the rotation? Yeah. That's next on 101 ESPN. With all that rain from over the weekend, how's your roof looking? If you don't know, why don't you give my friends at the Happy Roof a call? The Happy Roof Company, they're fantastic. So if you're dealing with a leaky roof, a damaged roof, or you don't know what's going on up under your roof, and you know, though, that we just had all the hail and everything come through here recently, then give the Happy Roof Company a call. Because when you call them at 314-665-3001, and you call today, they will have someone to look at your issue within 24 hours. Call tomorrow, they'll have somebody, again, within 24 hours to look at that issue. They do residential and commercial roofing. They only use superior high-end products. They have a 10-year labor warranty on all shingle roofs, over 50 years combined experience in roofing, siding, gutters. If you do need a completely new roof, they have financing options available, and they have great relationships with realtors. They have the detailed inspection reports for all real estate transactions. So if you're selling your home, but you want to put a new roof on, again, they've got all those detailed reports for your realtor. A+ rating with the BBB. Give them a call. Free estimates with competitive pricing and cost-effective solutions on flat roofing and metal roofs. They are The Happy Roof. Visit them, thehappyroof.com. Call them at 314-665-3001. concerned are you about the fifth starter spot in the Cardinals rotation? It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Before we dive into our thoughts on it, here's John Mozeliak, president of baseball operations for your Cardinals, on KMOX over the weekend, talking about the pitching depth and the injury concerns that the club is currently facing.
We know the short view he's not going to be. Mm-hmm. So we have to navigate that in terms of whether it's Libby or eventually someone like a Palante might get that opportunity. So we'll see. Obviously, it's not perfect. We do have some younger guys starting to emerge down in Memphis, that's good news. And we're also going to have to pay attention to what's happening on waiver wires and, start, kicking tires on potential trades because, certainly we know we can't go the next 4 months with just trying to do bullpen games or, backfilling with something that we're not 100% confident in. So we know there's a need there, and that's something we're just going to try to focus on.
All right, so you kind of covered the gamut there. Yeah, we got some internal options that are pitching well, and if things don't go well, we'll look at trades and other external options. Right? Yeah. So it's not like he gave us much there, which it makes sense. It's May 28th now. We're not talking about somebody that knows as of right now whether or not you're going to be a buyer or a seller. However, I made this point earlier. I think we'll dive into this a little bit later on, but I think the Cardinals have told us all we need to know about what they think of their young pitchers in the minors. Not that they have an issue with them or that they don't believe in some of these guys, but that they want them to continue to pitch at the minor league level before bringing them up. I agree with Jamie, and I think, Carey, you're with us too. I would love to see them give an opportunity to a Gordon Gracef or a Sem Robosay. I would love that. I would love to see that. But the Cardinals feel as though that the timeline needs to be that these guys continue to pitch in the minors. And if that's the case, then we'll probably see them add somebody outside the organization if Steven Matz can't stay healthy. If/when.
Does that signify that they don't think that those guys are ready? Because in
for the majors, absolutely.
Yeah, we've seen Andre Palante.
But what's the measuring stick?
We've seen Matthew Liberatore. We've seen Zach Thompson.
I mean, you can use a measuring stick for all kinds of things.
Yeah, I know, but
he's talking for the pitchers.
Because everything I'm seeing in the Twitterverse /X, these guys are shoving down there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's not. I mean, that would be my question. What is and I guess we won't know the metrics that they go by to decide when they want to bring a player up or if it has anything to do with starting a player's clock I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what the numbers say in terms of when and why it's time to bring a person up. But I do know that, if you are going to go into every fifth day not knowing what to expect, that's problematic because it can have a trickle effect. If you have the fifth starter not perform well, your bullpen is probably going to play a lot that day.
Absolutely.
And then if your ace the next game is unable to have success, well, guess what? Your bullpen is going to be now you're rolling downhill and without breaks, and that's probably not a great thing to do for your bullpen and for those guys. So it should be hopefully corrected. The Water Boy has a suggestion for the starting five: 1, Sonny Gray; 2, Gibson; 3, Lynn; 4, Michaelis; and 5, Rain. So
it worked.
It might Rain, actually, if you can plan it out, potentially you could be onto something.
It's not a bad idea.
Apparently, the lineup cards were given out. So,
we don't know.
Spawn and Sane and pray for rain. It's not. It has worked before. It really has. Yeah, I don't. I would love to see. I don't think, Carey, what you were listing like a bunch of different things, right? I don't think it's the starting the clock thing. I really don't. The Cardinals have brought up young players before, and they've started their clock. And
they just don't think that they're ready.
Yeah, I think they want to really make sure that they get it right here with these young pitchers, which is good, but okay. Hey, Steven Matz.
Maybe you're going to wait till next year and not have some of those older guys. Maybe that's the plan. I don't know. Maybe you're going to have two of those guys in your starting rotation next year, and you want to make sure that they are completely ready before you bring them up and put them in a position to have success or get beat up on, whichever one.
I will say this: if Steven Matz, when he does come back, if he's not effective, or he doesn't even have to be effective, I think, for them to just kind of stick with it.
He has to just be healthy.
Exactly. If he's not healthy, if he can't stay healthy, it will force them to either go down to the minors and start somebody's clock, or force them to make an early trade. You don't have to wait till July to make a deal.
What? You have to wait till the trade deadline?
No.
I thought that was when you could make trades. It's the deadline. Like you had on that
Carey,
day.
yeah, you can make one right now. Hell, you can make one tomorrow.
The problem is, if you make one right now, you're probably going to get taken outside the woodshed.
Probably.
By whoever it is.
Yeah.
Because they know that you're absolutely desperate.
I just thought you had to wait till the deadline. I thought that was like a rule.
No.
I mean, I saw Luis Ariz get traded. I was like, that must be some type of stipulation.
Sure.
That was a special case. But, the deadline is when they told me the trades happened.
No, Robbie Grossman got traded a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
So it's okay.
Willie Adames got traded real early in the season. A couple years ago when the Brewers made the deal with the Rays.
Okay.
Yeah, Carey, you don't have to sit on your ass and wait until the absolute
You should go down
last second to make a deal
go downtown and
for some old veteran pitcher. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good news.
So Steven Matz really does hold the key to the fifth spot. Either he's going to occupy it or he's not going to stay healthy, and it's going to force the front office to do something internally or externally.
Yeah, I don't like any of that.
You don't like Steven Matz being the key holder here.
No, I don't like putting all the chips, so to
In the
say,
Steven Matz
on
basket.
the Steven Matz.
You see what I'm saying, though, right?
Like, when he's pitching like he can, he's had some really good
game.
Really good pockets of pitching. Really good game.
Really good game.
No, he was pitching solid last year.
He was.
And he got hurt.
He got game.
Clearly.
I saw a
what you meant.
documentary about it.
It was
Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Exactly.
Denzel, right? He got out of prison. That's
Ray Allen.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, it was a documentary about Ray Allen.
They just called him Jesus for some.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta, you can't
Well, if you
sometimes.
saw him
Some of
play-
the names are protected.
If you saw him play, you'd think it's Jesus.
Yeah. Some of the names are protected in these documentaries.
They are.
Yeah.
Sure.
Even though that was clearly Ray Allen, you know what I mean? But
could you
still,
tell?
that's what I was saying about Steven Matz. He got game. He had a good game.
Oh, okay. I see what you did there. He like continuous.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
If he can't stay healthy, guys, oh boy.
Okay. All right. Tonight, Cardinals, Reds, early start, 5:40. Kyle Gibson versus Andrew Abbott. Cardinals will start Masyn Winn. They'll lead him off. He's playing short. Lars Nootbaar is in right field, hitting second. Paul Goldschmidt is at first, hitting third. Ivan Herrera back in the cleanup spot, and he's behind the dish. Nolan Arenado is hitting fifth, playing third. Alec Burleson is hitting sixth, and he's the DH. Dylan Carlson hitting seventh, playing center. Nolan Gorman hitting eighth and playing second. And then Brendan Donovan hitting ninth and playing left field. That's your lineup for the Cardinals as they take on the Reds for the second game of this series. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN, and we welcome Hunter back. Hunter's got another chance to take on one of us in the Gauntlet here on 101 ESPN.
4 warriors, 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you master the Gauntlet?
The Gauntlet is powered by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit Mastor.com.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Anthony Stalter. It is 4 o'clock. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. And we welcome back Hunter after the long weekend. He beat Carey on Friday, so Hunter is back for round 2 today in the Gauntlet. What's up, Hunter?
Oh, just finishing up some work.
All right, good man. Well, you got some more work to be done here in the Gauntlet, too. So would you like to take on Marsh, Jamie, or me today?
And the rules stipulate that I can't know the category first, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, let's just go with Jamie because I've never beaten him before.
All right, there you go.
Oh, wow, Hunter. I like the way you lined that up. I've never beaten him before. Insinuating that it's happening today, huh?
Gotta have confidence.
All right, I do like the confidence.
Only hope.
All right, so...
All right, Hunter, good luck, man.
Jamie's going to make his way into the cone of silence. And, Hunter, you're going to tell Marsh to spin that wheel.
Hey, Marsh, spin that wheel.
I'm assuming, Hunter, that you don't want hockey. That's why you're asking about the category?
I want to desperately avoid hockey at all costs.
All right.
All right.
Carey, did he desperately avoid hockey at all costs?
He did. He got baseball.
A little baseball action on a Tuesday following Memorial Day. Okay. Well, Marsh is going to give us the codes here, the launch codes. Just a reminder, 4 questions, baseball related to Hunter. 4 questions to Jamie. Each question is worth 2 points unless Hunter or Jamie ask for the options. Hunter, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Question number 1. In 2015, the Cardinals and Cubs clashed in their first ever postseason matchup. Chicago reeled off 3 straight wins to take that NLDS, with which pitcher nailing down 2 saves? Who had 2 saves for the Cubs in the NLDS in 2015?
I'm going to need the options.
All right. Was it Carlos Marmol, Hector Rondon, or Craig Kimbrell?
Was it Craig? Let's go Craig.
Final answer?
Yes, sir.
Question number 2. Happy birthday to Jordan Zimmerman, a 2-time All-Star who made 178 of his 275 Major League starts as a member of which organization?
Washington Nationals.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Question number 3. At 36-14, the Phillies are off to the best 50-game start in baseball since the 2001 Mariners. Can you tell us who led that Seattle team in home runs and runs batted in?
Well, I was in first grade, so I'm going to need the options.
Your options are John Olerud, Jay Buhner, or Brett Boone.
Yep, let's go with Brett Boone. Sounds like a home run hitting kind of guy.
Final answer?
Yep.
Brett bleepin' Boone. All right. Question 4, Hunter. Name the umpire whose blown call in Game 6 of the 1985 World Series helped the Royals ultimately beat the Cardinals.
See, this is one that you'll say the answer and I'll know it. So let me have the options.
Joe West, Don Denkinger, or Hunter Wendelstadt?
It would be Don.
Don Denkinger?
Yep.
Final answer?
Yep.
All right, Jamie is going to come back in from the cone of silence. Hunter, you sound disgusted right now.
Well, it's one of them things. I don't know. Sometimes questions are too old for me.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Yeah, same.
88 rounds.
Yeah. That's right.
Jamie's no. Go ahead, Jamie. Jamie's putting on his headphones right now, so just be aware. And
all right.
Answers that you give him.
How'd my guy Hunter do?
Oh, Hunter did outstanding. Yeah, good job.
Good.
Pack a lunch.
Oh, damn it! Really?
Yeah. You packed that lunch, Jamie. Baseball is your category.
Oh, I love baseball.
I know you do.
I just love it.
Are you ready?
No.
Okay. Question 1. In 2015, the Cardinals and Cubs clashed in their first ever postseason matchup. Chicago reeled off 3 straight wins to take that NLDS, with which pitcher nailing down 2 saves.
Which Cubs pitcher?
Who got 2 saves for the Cubs in the NLDS in 2015?
2015. Options, please.
Carlos Marmol, Hector Rondon, or Craig Kimbrell?
Well, it wasn't Ollie's brother. Kimbrell, but I feel like that's too obvious. I'm going to do an Anthony Stalter. What was the second one?
Hector Rondon.
I'm going to go with my guy Hector Rondon. Final answer.
All right.
Happy birthday to Jordan Zimmerman, a two-time All-Star who made 178 of his 275 Major League starts as a member of which organization?
Options.
Is it the Washington Nationals, the Detroit Tigers, or the Cleveland Indians?
Nationals. Final answer.
Question number 3 at 36-14. The Phillies are off to the best 50-game start in baseball since the 2001 Mariners. Can you tell us who led that Seattle team in home runs and runs batted in?
What year?
2001.
Okay. Man, I'm terrible with dates. Could be way off here. 2001. Was it A-Rod? No, that's too late. Ken Griffey? Options.
Options are John Olerud, Jay Buhner, or Brett Boone.
Okay, that didn't really help. John Olerud, old hard hat at first base himself. Jay Buhner, or what was the other one?
Brett Boone.
Brett Boone. I have no idea. Let's go with Aaron's brother, Brett Boone. Final answer.
All right, Jamie. Name the umpire whose blown call in Game 6 of the 1985 World Series helped the Royals ultimately beat the Redbirds.
Oh, I know this too. Wasn't our guy Joe West, was it? Give me the options.
Joe West, Don Denkinger, or Hunter Wendelstadt?
Joe West, final answer.
Okay, let's go over these. Jamie versus Hunter in baseball. In 2015, the Cardinals and Cubs clashed in their first ever postseason matchup. Chicago reeled off 3 straight wins to take that NLDS, with which pitcher nailing down 2 saves in that series. Hunter, you took the options and you went with Craig Kimbrell. Jamie, after hearing the options, you said that Craig Kimbrell was too obvious.
I staltered it.
So you're going to go the non-obvious route with Hector Rondon. Correct answer is
Hector Rondon.
Hector Rondon is the answer.
Anthony Stalter, School of
Trivia. There you go. Got you up 1-0. Jamie 1, Hunter 0. Happy birthday to Jordan Zimmerman, a 2-time All-Star who made 178 of his 275 Major League starts as a member of which organization? Jamie, you said the Nationals. Hunter, you also said the Nationals. Correct answer is?
It is the Washington Nationals.
But Hunter did not need the options on that one, so we got a 2-2 tie. At 36-14, the Phillies are off to the best 50-game start in baseball since the 2001 Mariners. Can you tell us who led that Seattle team in homers and RBI? Hunter, you went Brett Boone. Jamie, you went Brett Boone. Correct answer is?
In Jamie's words, Aaron's brother, Brett Boone.
Both of you needed the options.
Oh, man, here we go.
Brett Boone, 37 dangers and 141 ribbies. It's actually written. That's what it says. Dangers. Comes down to this, because we had a tie game.
Danger.
A tie game.
Oh, it does say dangers.
I think he meant dangers. That's how I'm reading it. All right. Name the umpire whose blown call in Game 6 of the 1985 World Series helped the Royals ultimately beat the Redbirds? Jamie, you said it wasn't our guy Joe West, was it? Then when you heard the options, you took Joe West. Hunter, you said, I'll know it once I hear the options. You went Don Denkinger.
Oh,
if it's Don Denkinger, Hunter wins.
Dinky Dink. Yeah.
If it's our guy Joe West,
no,
Jamie wins.
I got a bad feeling.
Hunter.
You have chosen wisely.
Sorry, Joe.
It, of course, was Don Denkinger. Hunter with a 4-3 win today over Jamie, which means Hunter will be back tomorrow to take on either Andrew Marsh or me in round 3 of the Gauntlet. Hunter, congrats, man.
Appreciate it, Marsh. Hope you get a good night's sleep tonight, buddy.
Oh, he's already going to shots.
That's actually good, though, because I won't be here Thursday.
All right. Oh, that works out well. Good. Okay.
I'll make sure I get some good sleep.
There you go. All right, Hunter, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
You always have a good evening.
Thanks, Congrats, buddy.
You getting ribbed?
Oh, I'm getting ripped to shreds. Our guy, Izzy is laughing at me. Said, terrible Joe West. You can't live in St. Louis and not know that. Well, Izzy, you don't live in St. Louis. You live in Illinois.
Oh, man. Always great to hear from our guy,
yes.
Jason Isringhausen.
Hey, he's got to find me at my worst moment.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. Is he?
I'm surprised you know it once you heard
Don
his answer.
I don't know why I was so focused on Joe West. Joe West is from around here. I've seen it. Like, I hung out with Joe West. Like, you
wanted it to be Joe West.
I did.
How could you?
I don't know.
Could you?
I actually don't even think I listened to the other options.
I don't think you did. Because once you heard Joe West, you was like,
I almost read off Don Denkinger again after you said, but I didn't want to get called for helping.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Angel Hernandez wasn't on this list.
Yeah, a blown call? Absolutely. Fortunately for all Major League Baseball, Angel Hernandez will not be making any more blown calls in baseball because he has decided to retire.
I can't believe
Is that effective immediately?
Is it effective immediately?
Mm-hmm. Is it really?
I think he has called his last game.
See you, Angel.
I also wonder if he made that decision.
Yeah, right.
That's what I was wondering.
No kidding.
By the way, Angel, you're retiring.
You're going to retire.
You've had a great career.
Yeah, today.
Wait, no, I gotta finish the year. Nope.
Here's some money. Go away. Thank you. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN of the Cards telling us all we need to know about their young pitchers. Yeah, kind of. That's next on 101 ESPN. Jamie, got a couple of questions for you.
Oh, go ahead, Anthony.
If you're buying a house and need a loan, who's your guy?
Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation.
All right, you got some debt issues. You want to consolidate that debt. Who you go with?
Our guy, Stewie.
Well, if you got a question about, I don't know, the Federal Reserve or where rates are heading, who do you go to?
Well, it's got to be our guy, Stewie.
That's right.
It certainly isn't you.
No, it's not me at all. I've got a guy. You've got a guy. You need a guy. It's our guy, Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. He's got things like the bagel loan. So if you're borrowing $200,000 or more, you want a new house, you found your dream home, you don't want to pay for lender fees and closing costs and all that other stuff that is going to, soak up a lot of your bankroll, soak up the budget that you have. No, go with Stewie, because he's going to help get you to the closing table real fast, and he's going to have programs for you like the bagel loan.
Yeah, and it makes your offer that much more attractive to the seller of the home. And then Stewie, like Anthony mentioned, with the bagel loan, get you closed 10 to 14 days, sometimes depending on the situation. But yeah, he's our first call when it comes to anything to do with the finances of the real estate world, when it comes to mortgages and lending and debt consolidation. He needs to be yours as well, and it's a real easy way to do it. He gives out his personal cell phone number. That number is 314-324-4440.
Again, 314-324-4440.
If you can't remember that number, you're driving around right now, nothing to write it down, don't worry about it. All you got to do, Anthony, is...
remember the bagel loan.
NMLS number 226715.
When the occasion calls for a sweet treat, you already know. We're rolling through McDonald's. For that Oreo frappe with real Oreo cookie pieces, it's giving date night. Or a hot fudge sundae, it's giving self-care. How about a delicious strawberry shake? It's giving late night stop with my girls. Or a McFlurry with M&M's, say less. It's giving yes! For a sweet treat anytime, make it McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. At participating McDonald's. Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group used under license. M&M's is a registered trademark of Mars Inc. and its affiliates. Used under license Mars Incorporated 2024.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Well, Jamie got a text from our guy, Izzy, Jason Isringhausen, for the last segment.
Mad at me.
He's mad at you for not knowing the Don Denkinger call.
I'm mad at me too, Izzy. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Jamie, in his defense, Jamie's defense, he was so, glued in on Joe West because that's the name he said in his mind to begin with.
Yeah.
That when he heard Joe West being the first name, that's it. And he just went with it.
Meanwhile, I should have known that Joe West was probably going to be on that list.
Yeah.
Well, then you wouldn't even went with the options if that's the case. And either way, you'd have got it wrong. So which is worse?
You're right, Carey. Either way, I feel like crap right now.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're no Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Well done.
Not at all. The other kind of coach.
So, Jamie, since we hear from Izzy, we know that he works with a lot of the young Cardinal pitchers. Mm-hmm. He's often said, look, you don't want to jumpstart the process too quickly. You don't want to rush these guys up if they're not ready. They need to be seasoned. They need to know what it's like to pitch, not just throw. Yeah, you might be able to throw 95 plus. Great. Can you locate? What are your off-speed pitches looking like? Can you control? Do you have command of your pitches, right? Do you know where the hell the strike zone is? Like, there's a lot to go with pitching. So when I say earlier in the day about, and I mentioned this a couple times during the show, the Cardinals are kind of telling us what they think about the young pitchers that they currently have in the minors. It doesn't mean they don't believe in them or they don't have high upside. It means They want to make sure that they do this right and have these guys conditioned and ready to go so that when they do come up in the majors, they're as groomed as possible. They're as ready as possible.
Yeah.
You still can't predict how they're going to do, but just throwing them to the fire doesn't make a lot of sense for the Cardinals right now, especially with a fifth starter. Now, if you need multiple starters or Steven Matz gets hurt again, then I think the conversation changes.
Yeah, and I've never BS'd about this. I don't know exactly how it all works with your minor league system and, with starting the clock. I don't know the official dates and how many games, and I'm not going to pretend to know that.
Yep.
I look at it from a strict standpoint of, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Why not give one of these guys, even if you call him the opener for the game. I know that doesn't really help your bullpen, but it gets you a feel as to what maybe you've got. So let's say it's Graceffo, and you say you get one time through the order.
Yep.
That's it, one time through the order, and then we'll see how it looks after that. And if he's shoving one time through the order, maybe you leave him out there. And, then all of a sudden, then it saves some of the arms in your bullpen. Or if it's McGreevy. Tink Hence, as good as he is and as many highlights as I've seen, I don't know what it looks like to go from AA ball to the majors.
Right.
And I've seen players do it. And I'm sure there are pitchers that have done it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, position players, right.
Position players, I feel like that happens more often.
Mm-hmm.
AA to the majors. I mean, we had Jordan Walker do it. Who's the guy in Atlanta that did it? The young guy.
Ronald Acuna. Michael Harris.
Michael Harris did it. But I don't hear of a lot of pitchers going from AA ball to the majors.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong. Maybe there's a whole list. I'm sure the text line will throw 55 names at me from the last 100 years. But
the only pitcher that I know that completely didn't even pitch in the minors was Mike Leake. I mean, Cincinnati just called him right up. But to your point, it's rare. Whether there's a couple, there's a handful of guys, whatever. It's rare to make that jump. I highly doubt it's going to be Tink Hence making that jump again, especially for a fifth starter. To your point about, can you try to find lightning in a bottle? Yeah, absolutely. But I wonder if the timeline is off now for the Cardinals, and it's why they went out and they got not. I don't wonder that. This is why they signed Kyle Gibson and Lance Lynn. They gave Sonny Gray they needed a top-end arm, so they signed Sonny Gray. That one's explainable. They gave him multiple years. He's coming off the Cy Young candidacy last year. That one makes a lot of sense to give him the full deal. But to sign Kyle Gibson and Lance Lynn to one-year deals, they are telling you the guys in the minors right now, the timeline's a little off. We need to bridge the gap for a season.
At what point, or is there a point where you say the hell with it, we are going to have to give these guys a shot? If the injuries sustained with Matz, if, the performance is not well with Palante or Liberatore, or if you bring Zach Thompson back, if the performance isn't to the level that it needs to be and the injuries are still at the level that they have been with Matz, at what point do you say, okay, enough is enough? We can't continue to essentially throw away every fifth game and put our bullpen in a position where we're going to have to be strained and stressed probably for the next 2 to 3 days after this game?
I think it's a good question. It's why I brought that up about Steven Matz, a couple of segments ago. I think that if Steven Matz comes back and he gets hurt again immediately, it is going to force the Cardinals front office to make a quick decision at whether that's internally or externally. Whether they make a trade, I don't know what's available.
I was going to say, what external options are available? We're getting a lot of texts about Logan Gilbert for Nolan Gorman.
But he's not really available.
Yeah, why would the Mariners give him up?
Especially right now, why the Mariners do that?
Yeah. Maybe at the beginning of the season.
I'm just saying, what's the incentive for Seattle? they need a hitter. The currency for pitching is way higher
up in their division.
Right. Yeah. The currency for pitching is where we're talking about a young stud. He is in his prime. He is somebody that has got a couple of years of major league experience already and has shown you he can do it. Mm-hmm. That will not suffice for Nolan Gorman. They're not going to make that deal.
I'm trying to think
not realistic.
The last Cardinals starting pitcher that, had kind of the the upside or the thought that Paul Skeens has for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Like everyone felt like he's going to be a star, and he came out and has been a star.
Flaherty.
Is it Flaherty?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say Michael Walker or Flaherty? Michael Walker.
Yeah.
Because
I remember when Walker got called up.
would be because he almost threw a no-hitter at one point.
Against
like he
Pittsburgh,
was, he was playing really well, but just injuries. It feels like for the Cardinals pitchers, it's injury prone, and maybe that's something that they're trying to work through with these younger guys, making sure that when they do get here, the amount of stress that is required on their bodies, how many innings they are going to need to pitch. We need to make sure you are healthy, ready to do this consecutively, like every fifth day, without having to worry about it.
I wonder, too, if the Cardinals front office, we joke and are very serious at times about being risk averse and just like not putting themselves out there too much. I wonder if they're also the same front office that looks at this and goes, man, that's a risky move. The safe thing to do here is just let them marinate until they tell us that they're ready.
Yeah, they said we have no choice.
Yeah.
And then bringing them up. I think there's something to that, Jamie.
They're getting close.
Yeah.
Because, again, the more if you want to keep trying JoJo Romero out there for the sixth inning, good luck. Because at some point, the arm is going to say, I'm good. Can't do it anymore. Yeah. He is throwing a lot of innings. He's pitching in a lot of games. And if you're going to continuously put him in those positions, high leverage situations, mostly that he's performing in, it's going to, and to me, those moments are more stressful than you're up by 5 runs and you can,
there's a difference.
Kind of nitpick and not have to be so stressed in how you're throwing your pitches. Yeah. It's going to be a problem at some point for him. I don't know so much for Kittredge, but for JoJo, it feels like because it feels like he's going to be overused at some point if they don't correct it.
Carey, we have talked to a lot of different pitching coaches, Dave Duncan being one of them, that have said exactly what you just did. The innings in which there are runners on, it's different. It's stress. It is stressful innings. When you're out of the stretch, you've got runner. You're paying attention to the runner. You're doing this. You're doing that. Those innings count differently.
Yes.
Those pitches count differently. Then it's a clean inning. You get to start it that inning. Yeah, whether you're a starter or reliever, it's different. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We do have our Sports Six-Pack next, so if you have a question, send it into the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646. Again, Sports Six-Pack next.
If you are currently unhappy with your pharmacy, the one that you use all the time, whether the representatives there feel like they are being bothered, maybe the prices keep changing, maybe the service just isn't what you need it to be, head over to the Medicine Shop in St. Charles. It's a great pharmacy. They got quality people that work in there. They're going to answer your questions. They're certainly going to make sure that you're completely taken care of. And fellas, if you are currently using ED meds, you're probably paying too much for those. Well, the Medicine Shop in St. Charles, your destination for cheap ED meds. They've got a generic called Sildenafil for less than $2 a pill. Prescription required, of course. And again, if for some reason you can't get to the pharmacy, let the pharmacy come to you. The Medicine Shop in St. Charles offers free discreet shipping and delivery to your home or your workplace of any medicines that you take on a regular basis. This is a fantastic program. I take full advantage of this with my crazy schedule, and the Medicine Shop in St. Charles does an incredible job of making sure that they're there on time. The process is so easy, and they take great care of me and my family all the time, and they will do the same for you. So again, visit them in person or get there online at stcharles.medicineshop.com. That's stcharles.medicineshop.com.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals took 2 of 2 against the Chicago Cubs over the weekend. However, yesterday they lost 3-1 to the Cincinnati Reds, but they have a chance in Cincy to pick up a win tonight as Kyle Gibson takes the mound going up against Andrew Abbott. First pitch is at 5:40. Also over the weekend, City SC lost to Seattle by a final of 2-1. They'll take on Miami on Saturday at 6:30. And the Battlehawks also lost 36-22 against the Arlington Renegades. They'll take on the San Antonio Brahmas on Saturday with a start time of 3 o'clock. Tonight, we have Game 4 of the NHL Eastern Conference Final. That is the Florida Panthers taking on the New York Rangers. The Rangers lead that series 2-1. Pre-game for that one starts at 6:30. Coming up next, though, we have our Sports Six-Pack. So if you have a question you want to send our way, do so using the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Sports Six-Pack coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh with your questions via the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Marsh, go.
Question number 1.
All right, we got a question from the 314 from earlier in the show. Perhaps we can help this listener out. Why do catchers sit on their butt with runners on base? There are so many wild pitches that can be blocked with like 4 question marks.
Guys, if I may, I played catcher, Little League ball.
By the major? Oh.
No, Little League. It's almost the same.
Yeah.
Essentially
the same.
Position's the same. Let's just be honest here. I was a pitcher, catcher, shortstop from time to time.
Extraordinaire.
And I do remember my Little League baseball coach. His name was Joe Chapman, not Araldis' dad either.
Okay. Matt is Matt's brother.
Good Canadian hockey coach / baseball coach. Joe Chapman said to me, "Why are you on one knee and with your leg kicked out?" I'm like, I saw so-and-so do that. He said, yeah, that's...
Tony Pena.
It probably was. He had the little tape on his fingers, too. Tony Pena.
Yeah.
He did so the pitcher could see his signals better. Yeah. But anyways, I digress. He said to me, you're in no position to throw a baseball like that. How are you going to pop up quickly and throw a baseball? Or what if the pitch goes to the other side? What are you going to do? Drop into the splits all of a sudden? No, it's... So he had me in the actual catching position. And so with this question, I'd say that you shouldn't really be down there like that. And I know Yachty did it every now and then, but again, that's Yachty.
Right.
Like I could throw a baseball on one knee.
Just one eye shut.
One eye shut.
Sitting down.
With his throwing arm taped behind his back, he'll still throw you out with the other hand.
While walking up one... Never mind.
So I don't know why you would limit yourself like that, especially when you're a young catcher that doesn't have a real good pop-up time to begin with.
Sure.
Just saying.
If we're talking about Ivan Herrera.
Wow. That's random.
Oh, yeah, like the Cardinals haven't talked about.
Oh, that one hurt.
Some of the issues with his throwing.
What do you mean? He's doing okay.
They don't like his throwing.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something else that happened over the weekend.
No. Definitely wasn't talking about Pudge.
I thought you said Ivan Rodriguez, and I was like, Pudge, yeah, he could sit on his butt too.
Absolutely. No, Ivan Herrera's not Pudge, so...
Not yet.
Nah.
Like it.
In all seriousness, the Cardinals, they do have concerns about the throwing.
Just keep hitting, buddy.
Yeah, sure.
You can do that.
Well, yes and sure.
Okay.
If I was Ivan Herrera, I'd be more concerned about something else after what happened over the weekend.
Well,
Marsh, Anthony took the ball to the nether regions.
To the Huevos Rancheros?
He took 1 into 2.
1 into 2. And I saw someone tweet out, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah. That's not great. Like when Yanni had this situation, it was painful.
Of course it was.
Let
You're
me
a
tell
man.
you something, Carey. I've been hit with a puck.
Did you all wear cups? No? You didn't wear cup?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, you wear a cup.
We didn't wear cup.
But the cup, I mean, it
can only
braces it
brace
for,
it so much.
for impact, but it can't, trust me, especially too, if you're in a situation where you're slightly like opened up and then it deflects and it comes in sideways, not the front door, but the side door. The Liberty bells are bonging, let's just say that.
All right.
What the hell are you doing here?
Yeah. How'd you get in the house? Side door,
Side door, buddy.
Hey, what's worse, one of those or taking like a knee hockey ball right there?
Oh, puck for sure.
The puck, yeah. I don't know. The knee hockey
Now,
ball
I
has
did-
hurt before.
No, the orange hard plastic ball you play street hockey with?
Yes.
My brother and I and some other kids in the neighborhood were playing out in the driveway, and it was freezing cold, and I'll never forget, my brother was wearing track pants. He was playing goalie.
Man.
I took a clapper, and it didn't hit the bells. It hit the tip of the other thing.
Of the stick?
Yeah. It hit, yeah. And poor Sean, for like 3 days, he had trouble urinating.
See, that might be worse.
And we laughed.
That's not funny. That's
It
could
really
cause some
was, 'cause it
serious
wasn't me.
damage. Yeah.
Sorry, Sean.
Question number 2.
From the 314, what factors make the atmosphere of a stadium special to you?
The crowd.
The energy.
The energy. If you're playing on the road and you're in a hostile environment and they are like shouting, screaming, and berating you when you're on the sideline or on the field, and then you get to shut them up, that's awesome. I mean, and if you're at home, the energy that home crowd brings while you're, whether you're running out of the tunnel or it's a big third down, you got to get a stop defensively. I think it's the environment that you're in.
All right, so give us you gotta give us the absolute best.
I mean, for me, honestly, and I tell people think I'm a homer when I say this. A Sunday night game in Pittsburgh, third quarter, when the defense needs to stop, and they play Renegade. There is nothing in football better than that. Like when Renegade comes on and you see that entire stadium. Oh my God.
And then you get the stop and then Wilson throws a pick on the first play.
What are you doing? Come on. We know it's Justin Fields will be throwing that pick.
Really? You guys.
From the top row, both of you guys.
For me, having played in Montreal, the Bell Center is incredible.
Yeah.
I think it holds the most people in the NHL. It's right around or just above 20,000 people. And I don't know if they have mics in the crowd and they turn them. I don't know.
Some places I do feel like that because it is louder than it should be.
Dude, it was so loud. And they play that stupid Gwen Stefani song, woohoo, woohoo. Like one half of the arena is doing it. The other half is the other part.
Nobody knows I would escape and be creative.
That's exactly it.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
I was thinking you were singing something else.
No.
You're probably thinking of the banana song.
It's banana.
Either way, the place gets loud. You can't hear yourself think. Nothing. So they do a good job.
All
up
right,
there.
so
There are some places.
You gotta give me a road one too, Carey. Sorry to cut you off, but you gotta give us a road one.
A road team.
Because I believe you on the Steelers. So.
Well, I mean, anytime Philadelphia was ridiculous, and again, they don't care if they assault you. Like literally, like assault and battery, like batteries if they need to. Like it's But some of the words you hear, you like, I didn't even know those words could go together.
And from a child,
how old are you? And the father's like, good job, son. No,
that's what I taught you.
Even
son.
Philly Fanatic is saying something, which is
almost impossible.
He's got a mouth like no other, Marsh.
Him and Gritty.
Anthony, you'll enjoy this. You'll like this one because one of the toughest places to play,
here we go.
especially when they have good teams, was in San Jose.
Okay.
The Shark Tank, like when they had their teams, like especially like Owen
That's when he
Nolan,
became a fan.
Mike Ricci, and Joe Thornton, Patrick Marleau, like they had these guys. The first 10 minutes of that game, it felt like they had 7 players on the ice.
That is, yes.
Why are they allowed to play with extras?
And the crowd, it's like it's a metal tin is what it is, and it just the noise just.
Did they have like that big shark head at the time too?
Oh yeah. The shark head was there from the inception.
Nice.
We played the LSU Tigers in New Orleans in college.
Oh, sweet.
And when you say it felt
Merciful
like they had, I honestly, I stopped and I started counting. They got to have 12 people out there. It's no way they're this fast. They got an extra guy on the field and they just haven't caught it yet. It was ridiculous.
That's awesome.
I think my favorite part of a game is when the players actually play.
And not,
rain delays.
Rain delays when there's no rain. Is that what you're saying, Marsh?
I mean, I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, you're just throwing out a hypothetical.
just throwing out a
I got
hypothetical.
you. Yeah, I got you on that one.
So,
Question number 3.
from the 314, how long can the retool take before the fans start to lose patience with Doug Armstrong?
Well, I think you just have to see, you have to be watching progression. I think if the Blues take steps backwards next year to where they're, not even that one team that just missed the playoffs, if they're 2 or 3 teams down, or it just doesn't look like they're competitive on most nights, then I think people start to get frustrated. I think for Army and the front office and the coaching staff, you have to be thinking to yourself, like, we have to scratch ourselves, like, into the playoffs, scratch and claw our way into the playoffs next year. So it just continues to be that natural progression towards becoming a contending team again. And a lot of that is going to depend on the young guys, which is scary for a team because the young players can be very unpredictable in great ways and then in not so great ways. So you're counting on these guys, especially the guys that you got in the lineup last year, to come in and be even better than they were last year, which is why, for me, again, which is why it's important to offer a cup of coffee in the highest level to these young guys, even if it's just to understand what the expectations are moving forward.
Get a taste of it.
Yeah, a little taste of it. But yeah, I think that the fans will grow frustrated if they don't see progression with this team.
All right, we will carry over our Sports 6 back next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
All right, our Sports Six-Pack continued here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh.
Question number 4.
All right, this question from Willie, actually a little two-part here. Willie has to say, from the Snake Pit, anything to say about the umpire announcement over the holiday weekend, or did I miss that combo? Willie did not miss that combo. From the 314, how do you think CB Buckner feels about being the new de facto worst MLB umpire?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think he realizes that, so he probably is just fine with it. But, yeah, Angel Hernandez, we did talk about this. So Angel Hernandez retired. We speculated that Major League Baseball said, hey, why don't you go ahead and retire? As opposed to him saying, baseball, I would like to retire. I think he was shown the door rather than, decided to walk out.
What would give you that indication, Anthony? The fact that he was scheduled for games in the future and they told him not to show up?
Yes, because I imagine, Jamie. Now, Jamie, you do a lot of scheduling.
Yes.
For Synergy Hockey.
Yes.
You know how much of a pain in the you-know-what it is to have to schedule out and then redo that. Because you're not just talking about swapping one position. You're talking about, like, changing everything.
Yep.
So, yeah, for Major League Baseball to decide to do that, I'm thinking that they kicked him out.
Well, here's a text from a message. Hernandez's lawyer, Keith Murphy, told The Athletic in a text he was not forced out. So,
oh, yeah.
You got that.
Okay, yeah.
It's on the New York Post.
Sure.
Oh, well, then it must be true.
They got to be. It's on the internet, Jamie. Haven't you learned anything? What the hell is wrong with you?
I'm telling you. Look, this is Angel Hernandez is going to go down as one of the most polarizing baseball entities. And that's crazy, but it's simply because he was so bad at his job.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here with Carey, and like, how can you be that bad? Like, even if I leave the office and I go back and listen to our shows or whatever, or if I'm an umpire, let's just keep it, and I go back and I watch how bad I was. Like, at some point, you got to be like, I'm not great.
I need to get a lot better.
A text from the Grant Francis fan club says, I heard Angel was called into a meeting where they questioned his sight. He got mad, slammed the door on his way out. Once he realized he was actually in the closet, he decided to just retire.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the gentleman from Rookie of the Year who got locked inside the
pitching coach.
The pitching coach.
Yeah.
Let's watch a ball. Which, by the way, that's the guy from Home Alone.
Yes,
he was
one of the Wet Bandits.
He was one of the Wet Bandits turned Sticky Bandits.
Yeah, sequel.
Yep. Sequel. Mm-hmm.
And we saw the house, Jamie. It's for sale.
Yeah,
because it is a house.
By the way, with a criminal record, how do you become the Chicago Cubs pitching coach?
That's a great question. Well, when did that documentary happen compared to Daniel Stern? I'm getting a text from Piddles, who is listening.
From our producer studio.
David's brother.
David Stern. Let's see here. Rookie of the Year was
Anthony's diving.
Yeah. Rookie of the Year, that documentary came out in 1993. Home Alone. That documentary came out in 1990. So he had a criminal record before he was hired.
When did Home Alone 2 come out? Because maybe they didn't find, the Wet Bandits.
No, the Wet
Bandits were arrested. They were arrested.
They did.
Home Alone 2 came out.
And in Chicago.
Home Alone 2 came out in 92. Oh. So he
got
went
out
to
of
jail twice before he became the Cubs pitching coach.
But maybe he was so good at his job. Sometimes they overlook these things.
Jamie, clearly he wasn't. He actually got caught in between the two hotel doors. The
that
ones
doesn't
that.
mean.
Oh, yeah, he did. The fact that he got nailed. The fact that he got caught in the equipment room, that's bad.
Yeah. In like the biggest game of the year.
In the biggest game of the year, when he was needed the most.
Was he?
But he actually got caught in between the doors, in between the hotel rooms. I don't even know if they have those anywhere. The joining rooms, yeah. So that's tough, man.
Leave it to the Cubs to hire a guy like that.
I know. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You wonder why they struggle for all those years.
Yeah. I think they did win the pennant that year. Hell, I think they won the World Series. Now it's definitely a movie.
That's true. But they did trade him to the Yankees, so maybe he had to fulfill the obligation to go actually the Yankees. That was a Yankees ring. I don't know. Did they show that it was a Cubs ring?
Was it a Yankees ring?
I don't think it was, but I'm just saying.
You can't just make that comment.
Well, I think they made
unless you.
Well, no, he got traded to the Yankees. That was an issue.
Yeah.
The rights got traded to the Yankees.
But he did retire
because the jerk boyfriend wanted, to have the mom all to himself, and he had old Chet Steadman there working his way in.
Busey.
Yeah. He's working his way in with the
Rocket.
Mm-hmm.
Sure was.
Yep.
Where were we?
Where are we?
Question number 5.
St. Louis? I don't know. What do you want from me?
From 314, when Tommy Edman returns, where will he fit in on the field and in the lineup?
I think he's going to play center field.
In what year?
26.
All right.
But once he comes back, it'll be center field.
In place of?
Michael Ciani.
All right. And Dylan
Michael
Carlson?
Ciani's getting national recognition. I'm watching MLB Network, and they're talking about how great defensively this guy is.
Is it Tommy Edman? I don't think so.
I'm just saying,
He's
man.
literally one of the best center fielders in baseball.
Edman will either be first, he'll either be leadoff or ninth. The old double leadoff. The old crap double leadoff, as Jamie puts it.
It's wonderful.
Well, what do you guys think? Am I wrong?
I mean,
About
no.
this? I mean,
no. The contract plays. He'll play. He'll start.
has he done enough to? I mean, I know it's out of sight, out of mind, but the guy has had a solid go here for the Cards.
Ciani?
No.
Oh, Tommy Edman.
Tommy Edman.
Well, they talked about Tommy Edman when they gave him the contract extension, about him being one of their core players that they're building around. They didn't say center fielder. They just said core players.
Well, where else is he going to play?
Well, he's played second and shortstop very well, too.
At one of them. But here's
Gold
the thing.
Glove and a Gold Glove nominee at the other.
Nolan Gorman is your second baseman, sir.
He is.
And then Brendan Donovan is your other second baseman, if need be. Then Tommy Edman.
3 for $1.
Yeah.
Carey.
You pick them. See who you want to who you want to play. It's
$1.
about the matchups.
Is it?
Yes. I know it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question number 6.
From the 314, is Ronald Acuna Jr. a better version of Tyler O'Neill?
Oh,
clearly.
Okay.
Because of his injuries, that's a shot. He tore his ACL. It's not his fault.
It's not his fault.
If you tear both ACLs in the cola, I generally think when people tear ligaments, like at some point it was going to happen. Like, that's my philosophy. I don't think
You think both?
Well, I think I think at some point, if you tear an ACL, I think it's just something that was bound to happen at some point. Doesn't matter when.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe it's something structural with your knee, and he's torn it in both knees. I think it's something, like, it's not when it's a non-contact injury, like you just step wrong and it's torn.
Yeah, you got some issues.
I think there's something physically, not structurally right with the knee.
If I may.
Sure.
I won't even dive into the numbers. Let's just go for the accomplishments for Ronald Acuna Jr. Finished MVP in his rookie year. He was 12th in the MVP voting. Won the Rookie of the Year. He was an All-Star the next year. Finished 5th in the MVP voting. Won a Silver Slugger Award. MVP, finished 12th again. His third year, Silver Slugger. All-Star in the previous years. Won the MVP last year, Silver Slugger, and an All-Star last year. No, I don't think he's a better version of Tyler O'Neill. I think he's a much, much, much better version of Tyler O'Neill, if we're going to say it that way.
By the way, Tyler O'Neill, this is according to Tyler Milliken. Tyler O'Neill has been sent back to Boston to get imaging done on his right knee tomorrow, per Ian M. Brown. Alex Cora framed it as more about reassurance than something being seriously wrong.
There you go. Just checking it out.
Yeah.
Is he out playing on turf?
You don't normally get imaging on something if it's not hurt.
We're just taking precautions.
Me,
We're just going to scan
go
you.
day to day, and when you get imaging,
something is really sore.
Listen, we're just going to do some scans of your body, see if there's anything there. You know?
Randomly throughout the year. Nah, not really.
Nah.
This is tough, though, talking about Ronald Acuna Jr. from age 22 to age 26, which is usually what we would consider your prime years.
Yeah.
2020 COVID season, 2021 torn ACL, 2022 limited by ACL recovery, 2023 he wins MVP, and then obviously this year he torn his ACL again.
I feel for both players. I feel
Marshy,
for
I
Ronald
think you're being
Acuna.
pretty negative right now.
That means the
I'm just
Braves are
reading
gonna
what
win the World
happened.
Series then, doesn't it?
No, that's bad for baseball, though. One of your premier players.
You should put your money on the Braves to win it all.
Yeah,
Well, they
that's
did last time he
probably a
wins.
good call.
I'm
yeah.
just saying.
No, Carey's on to something.
It kind of
here.
works that way.
Yeah. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. So over the weekend, we lost an absolute legend in Bill Walton. Last year, we had our annual show from the Missouri Athletic Club for the College Basketball Writers Association Awards. Bill Walton was there. We sat down, we started the interview, and he rolled. And he was brilliant. He was must listen to radio. We're going to replay that interview with Bill Walton. It's kind of an honor, just kind of our hat tip. We want to remember Bill Walton. So we're going to play that interview next on 101 ESPN. 5:02, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. We lost a legend over the weekend when it was announced that Bill Walton passed away. And Bill Walton, of course, part of the NBA coverage for a very long time, former basketball player and somebody that, was beloved by a lot of basketball fans and, just sports fans overall. We had a pleasure to chat with Bill Walton a year ago at the Missouri Athletic Club's College Basketball Writers Association Awards at the downtown MAC. You'll hear Bill Walton in this upcoming interview reference the MAC, in fact. But we had a chance. We sat down with him, and he did not disappoint. He was authentic, unique, and just brilliantly himself. Here's that interview that we did that day with Bill Walton.
How you doing, Bill? That's right. You're in St. Louis.
What a day. What a place. What a time. What an event. Got in late last night. It was beautiful. Long plane ride from California through Denver, but everything was magnificent. And I got off the airplane at the St. Louis airport, and there they were. Members of the Missouri Athletic Club ready to pick me up.
Well, there you go.
They brought me down here, and we're in the gym right now. And I was just thinking this whole 24 hours that I've been here, the whole trip is 48 hours. I left at noon yesterday. I'll get home at noon tomorrow. But this first 24 hours, pretty darn special. And I've realized that if I had something like this in my life, oh my gosh, maybe I could have done something. But I grew up playing outside.
Yeah.
I'm from San Diego, still live there to this very day.
Sure.
And so, we did have some gyms, but most of the playing was outside. And to see the facilities here, we didn't have a swimming pool, but we did have the Pacific Ocean. And the training facilities, I was in the pool here this morning, and the spa and the showers, and this is just absolutely fantastic. And the history going around, and so much of my life has roots right here in St. Louis. And we go back, first of all, to Lewis and Clark when they came through here and what they did, and now the big arch and the gateway and everything. And on the broadcasting side, you got guys like Bob Costas and Joel Myers and Jack Buck, all great friends of mine. KMOX, which is influential in every aspect of my life. And then on the basketball side, Red Auerbach, who used to coach the Tri-City Hawks just up the river there. And then Bob Pettit is an absolute legend, and what he's meant to me in my own personal life as a great friend, mentor, and role model. Lenny Wilkins, who was a huge star here, played 8 years for the Hawks. And then the more current guys in my life, the Maurice Lucases and Marvin Barnes and Moses Malones and the Snapper Jones, and right here for the spirit of St. Louis, and what a time that was. And then we had a Final Four here, a championship Final Four in college basketball, and I've been here a number of times, and Bob Costas keeps me totally tuned in here, and it's just been fantastic. I just did a lot of work with Bob, and what an incredible talent. And I was a gigantic anchor to his career, but he was quickly able to cut the line and move away and get to the top of the mountain.
I think you guys both did just fine for yourself.
What's your names, guys?
Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh, and this is
Anthony and
Andrew. Yep.
Anthony and Andrew.
A couple of A's.
Okay,
yeah, so.
I'm Bill with 2 L's. The second one is silent.
There we go.
Yeah,
Bill.
what a great event this is. Are we on live ESPN radio here in St. Louis?
Yes, sir. That's right. We're live right now.
So are all the people who are listening out there in ESPN land, are they coming here to this event tonight?
A lot of people will be here, certainly. Yeah, you're seeing a lot of the media members certainly here in St. Louis. I'm sure you chatted with a few. But Bill,
well, I got to see a lot of guys here, and I just came from Tanaya, the freshman of the year, and her coach Brooke. And so it was fabulous because Tanaya is, she's got the future on her shoulders.
Yes, freshman of the year.
And to see, and I was explaining to her that, Yosemite National Park, there's Tenaya Lake, and that she's so good, they've already named a lake in Yosemite after her. But it's just like her, glistening, shimmering in the light of day, the golden hues and everything, and just absolutely spectacular, surrounded by the mountainous peaks of Zach Eady down there, yes. And Mike Bray is here, Matt Painter is here, And just a wonderful.
Coach Smart.
Yeah, Shaka Smart. Yeah, I remember that was one of the last times I took my shirt off in public. Not the last time, but I was calling one of his games when he was coaching Texas. And Kansas came in to play Texas in Austin, and they had me go down there. I didn't know if I needed a passport to go to Texas or not, but I did. I made it to Texas, and I called the game. And during the game, during one of the timeout and commercials, the football coach came over and he gave me a tie-dye T-shirt. And so right during the broadcast, I just took my shirt off and then put on the new tie-dye T-shirt.
That seems logical. I mean,
right.
It was a gift. So.
Right. I was being very nice to the football coach there. And then later on, they had the clip on SportsCenter, and I realized that it's about time I stopped taking my shirt off.
Fair enough, yeah.
So now I have a firm rule. I've broken it a couple times. One time I was doing a Conference of Champions games up in Boulder, the launching pad to the universe, and before the game we were playing ping pong with the coaching staff for the Colorado Buffaloes. Yeah, where the Buffalo roam, right? Bill Murray and all that. And so here it was that we were playing this ping pong game, and I won. And I was so ecstatic. I hit a forehand smash, that just nicked the far corner for the game winner, right? And I was just ecstatic. And so I ripped my shirt off. And then they showed that on television that night. And that was the absolute last straw. And I stopped doing that.
Just stop doing it in front of the TV cameras, Bill.
Right,
well, all right.
The TV sometimes the light's all shining on me. And it'll be shining again this summer. But this event tonight is very special.
Bill, what did you think of the NCAA tournament?
Fabulous. I love this year's tournament. I love it every year. And we have so many ties. We have 6 children and 14 grandchildren. And so we have personal ties to schools like Harvard and LSU. Neither one of those made the tournament this year, but we still root for them. And then UCLA did well, and Arizona, they had a tough go, but also Princeton and San Diego State. And so Princeton, I love Princeton basketball. And the current coach was on the team when our son Nate played there, and they're all very, very close. When you're on a special team, that's one of the things that the young people don't realize. It's just how special and how fun this all is.
Absolutely.
And you're always thinking, what's this all about? Who are these people, and what are we doing here? But this is what you live for, the dream of, the best of the best coming here tonight and to be with these coaches, these people who I've known for so long, Matt Painter, Mike Bray, and just getting to know Tanaya and Brooke. And then Zach, who I was with last weekend in Houston at the Final Four. He won the award down there for Player of the Year, and so it was a very nice ceremony. But when you think of what Princeton did to Arizona, now the trash talking going on between Luke Walton and Nate Walton in that game, that matchup, and then to have Arizona win, and then Princeton going on and just taking down Creighton. Not Creighton. They took down Missouri.
Unfortunately,
Missouri
you're talking to some Mizzou fans.
Right. So if Princeton had played as well against Creighton as they played against Missouri, they would have won that game too. Yep. But Creighton is an excellent team, and Princeton just did not have it. It's one of the biggest challenges for young players is to play great day after day after day. And, because when you're young and you do play great, you just think, okay, that's just the way it's going to be always.
Sure.
And it's never that way.
No, it's not.
You've got to find that edge. You got to bring it. And so Princeton goes down to Creighton, but then San Diego State, they beat Alabama, and then they beat Creighton. Mm-hmm. And, oh, my gosh. And my mom went to San Diego State. Our family home growing up as a child, it was for 69 years that our family had that home. Just recently sold it because my mom passed away 23 days shy of 95.
Oh, wow.
And so, but you could see the college from across the valley from where our house was on the hill.
That's great.
In San Diego, suburban San Diego. And so we grew up there, and that was all our lives. And then our son, Chris, he went there. And so when San Diego State starts winning, we're like going crazy and just having such fun and yelling and screaming. And then Lori, my wife, just the greatest everything ever and the most beautiful girl in the world. We go every year to the Final Four. It's part of my business and job and all the different stuff I do in my life. And But then this year, Chris went with us, and his wife, Gina, because they met in college, and he was the captain of Steve Fisher's first team at San Diego State, and she was the captain of the women's soccer team, and so it was fantastic. And we just had so much fun. And one of the things that we did when we were there at the Final Four was we got to participate in the March Madness Music Festival.
Okay.
And while we were working like crazy all the time and doing all the business stuff that we do, which is my life, there was one night we got to go to the music festival, and that night it was Keith Urban and Tim McGraw. And my gosh. Oh my gosh. It was incredible. And I can't think of anyone who I've ever seen in my life who is more fit and more on top of his health than Tim McGraw.
Really?
And it was staggering. For someone like me who's old and in the way and can't move and can't do anything and is just currently in the shape of a pear. And here's this guy, Tim McGraw, just doing things on the stage. I mean,
it's impressive.
Mick Jagger would have looked at him and said, oh my gosh!
Mick's been doing it for a while. Bill, I know that you've got to bounce around, but we can't thank you enough for stopping by and enjoying.
I want to thank you guys for bringing the dream to the world and the important role that ESPN does and has in this world in terms of showing us the direction to find the bright side of the road, to show us what love can do. And so as we build for a better tomorrow, as we create, as we dream and visualize, and as we hope that everything is going to continue to improve and get better, that we can use an event like tonight to raise the consciousness and the awareness. But without you guys at ESPN delivering the message, who would ever know about it? So thanks for our lives, guys.
Wow, Bill with 2 L's.
The second one is
exactly. Bill Walton. Bill, thank you so much.
I'm the luckiest guy in the world. Here we go. We're going to celebrate tonight the player of the year, the freshman of the year, the coach of the year, the all-time guy in Mike Bray. And then in this gym that Bill Bradley played in. Now, you guys are not old enough to know who Bill Bradley is, but Bill Bradley, one of the great players in basketball history, more importantly, one of the great human beings. So when I joined the NBA, he grew up in St. Louis. He took his team Princeton to the Final Four, was instrumental in our son going to Princeton. And so, Bill Bradley's just instrumental in everything. And so I joined the NBA in 1974, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know how to play in the game of life. My feet are always broken, and nobody can figure out why or how. And I can't talk, and I can't explain myself. I'm a lifelong stutterer. So I get to Madison Square Garden for the very first time, and I'm a rookie. And I'm warming up on the court before the game. And Bill Bradley and Phil Jackson, teammates on this great Knick team, they come over to me. They walk up unannounced. They walk right up to me and say, Bill, I'm Bill, and this is Phil, and we're here for you. Whatever you need the rest of your life, we're with you, Bill. Wow. And it was just absolutely incredible and fantastic. And I had read the book about Bill Bradley, A Sense of Where You Are by John McPhee growing up. And I campaigned for Bill Bradley for president in 2000. And he's just an incredible guy. We still stay in close touch, and he's incredibly active in so many great causes and ventures. And I'm the luckiest guy in the world. And now I'm here in this gym, the Missouri Athletic Club, where dreams become reality, where we come to grow, and where the deal goes down. Only on ESPN.
There you go. Fantastic. Bill Walton, everybody. Thank you so much.
Here we go. I found a new launching pad to the universe.
There you go.
That was awesome.
That was the one and only Bill Walton. And Jamie, you had remarked, because you were doing the show with us that day, of course, and you were taking off, I think, do some Blues coverage. Yeah. So you said that you had sat in your car listening to.
Yeah, I got to Enterprise Center, and I'm like, I can't get away from this.
Yeah.
He was awesome, man. I was joking with you while we're listening. I said, this is the least amount of work you've ever had to do for an interview.
I think I asked one question, and that was it. And you laughed too, and we were laughing that, and so, well, Bill, thanks for, because I always want to make sure that they have other interviews to do. It's not like I want to cut off the interview, but I want to be respectful to the other journalists and radio shows there.
You may not remember, probably do, I don't know. It was right towards the end of the show.
Yes,
And
that's
so
right.
you were watching the clock going like, at some point,
we got to get out of
I'm
here.
going to have to cut Bill Walton off because it's going to be 6 o'clock.
Yeah, because we need to pay some bills too. You're right. You're right. I'm glad you had mentioned that. Yeah, it was incredible. But what an honor for us to have him on the station, and an honor for me to interview him. But yeah, again, unique, outstanding, somebody that can just roll. I heard somebody nationally talk about Bill Walton today, and he said the same thing. Like, anytime he came on the show, it was just introduce him and let him go. And that's exactly how it was.
Marcy, we're getting a lot of texts here on the text line asking if we will be able to post that interview.
Yeah, I'll post it today.
Because some of them missed it and whatnot. So, perfect.
Excellent.
Thank you.
There you have it. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Do we want to do Beat the Streak next?
Yes.
Sure. Get that in because we got a 5:40 start time.
We could do it. I just got a
5:30?
hold. I just got a hold of Brian. I told him 5:30.
Let's do 5:30.
We
That's
can
fine.
move it up though. He did respond.
No, let's talk.
I feel like Brian's flexible though.
Yeah, but let's keep it at 5:30. That's fine. Where would the Cardinals be this season without Masyn Winn? Don't curse. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Where would the Cardinals be this season without Masyn Winn? Well, Masyn Winn, I think, has been, arguably the Cardinals' best position player. Would you guys disagree with that? Start to finish?
No, I wouldn't disagree with that.
Goldschmidt is starting to heat up. Arenado had a good stretch from start of April to mid-April.
We're talking offense and defensively?
Yeah. Wilson Contreras, I know, offensively before he got the forearm injury. Who's been better? Who's been their best all-around player, if it's not Masyn Winn?
I think it's Masyn Winn. I do. And I think it's him for a couple of reasons. One, I don't think anybody expected this offensively from him.
Right.
And I said it last week, and I'll repeat it again. We all were like, you don't really care about what his bat provides.
Play good defense.
Just the way he plays defense and the way he's able to contribute that way, we're fine, whatever. But he has been the most consistent offensive player. Alec Burleson, I'm sure his numbers are probably pretty good, too. Yeah. I'd have to do the homework real quick. But I do know that Masyn Winn has been way better offensively than anybody thought he was going to be right now in his rookie season.
Yeah, I was going to say Alec Burleson has probably been consistent as well. He's had a few assists in the outfield. He's done a really good job in filling in at first base when Goldie needed a day off. So I think he's done a great job. Masyn Winn has been one of your best players. he's second on the team behind Wilson Contreras in on-base percentage. He's hitting for average, not slugging to the level, but we don't expect that from him. I think he's leading the team in stolen bases still. And so you got a guy that – and he does have some errors. But I think that's one of those things, like I said a couple of weeks ago, where Brett Favre feels like he can throw the ball over the middle of the field late because he has one of the strongest arms in the world. And that's where Masyn Winn is. I know I can do it, therefore I will do it. Mm-hmm. And I think the older you get, the more you learn. I don't have to make every single attempt and put our team in a position where I may throw it away, even though I know – he's going to learn to start eating a few of those and just waiting till the opportunity arises again. So it has been outstanding watching this young man play baseball because no one, again, like Jamie said, expected the offensive production to be at this level so soon.
Yeah, but you're right, though, too, Jamie. Alec Burleson has had an outstanding season thus far. You could really say Winn and Burleson have kind of, I don't want to say carry, because they are getting a lot of different contributions from players. But as far as being the most consistent, it's probably Winn and Burleson. Who would have thought?
It was supposed to be Newt and Gorman. Those were the two you expected to have this production from. Now, if those two, Newt has started to pick it up. Gorman, if they can get to the level that you expected them to be at and have Goldschmidt having him at the level, you see why, I think most people should see why John Mozeliak and the Cardinals front office was excited about this team because you have unproven stars in Masyn Winn, unproven guys in Masyn Winn and Alec Burleson who have raised their game to a level that is giving them an opportunity to win games, and you expect that from the players that have already shown it to you. So you could see why this team why the organization would feel like they have a chance to be really good. We're still just waiting on it to be consistent throughout the entire lineup.
But you bring up a great point, Carey. These are guys that developed within your organization. We spent a lot of time talking about how the Cardinals can't evaluate their own talent, or they misevaluate their own talent, or they trade away the wrong guys. I know it's just a stretch right now, but these are two guys that were drafted and developed within this organization that are paying off. Nolan Gorman is another guy. Now, there's been some inconsistencies, but you're going to get that from young players. Gorman, Winn, Burleson, Donovan, these are all players that were drafted, developed right here. Ivan Herrera. Herrera's done a nice job offensively. There's some things, obviously, defensively he's got to clean up. But offensively, he's batting cleanup tonight for you. You lose one of your best hitters. A high-energy, excellent hitter in Contreras, and Ivan Herrera steps in and is now hitting cleanup tonight. So another guy, again, that was drafted and developed, I don't know if he's an international draft pick or not with Herrera, but he was
still
somebody.
Your property.
He was, exactly. So nice job. We don't always spend a lot of time giving some praise to the Cardinals for developing the talent, but well done. Now keep winning, or we'll be mean again. Beat the streak. Biggest question of the day next on 101 ESPN.
Well, Anthony, we're just talking about some of the Cardinals and in particular Alec Burleson, who has hit a couple of ding-dong Johnsons this year.
Yeah, he is.
And right now, FanDuel has Dinger Tuesdays coming up here. Actually, they keep it going. They had it last year as well. And all that is that every Tuesday, FanDuel lets you pick someone to hit a home run. Mm-hmm. And if you do so, FanDuel rewards you, Carey.
Yeah, Jamie, all you have to do is bet on a player on FanDuel, and they will give you $5 in bonus bets for every home run hit during that game, as if you needed another reason to love the long ball. You talked about Alec Burleson. If he hits one out, you get FanDuel bucks. If Masyn Winn hits one out, you get money. It's amazing for what they do. All you have to do is visit FanDuel.com/fast to get in on all the Dinger Tuesday action.
And then you can make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Must be 21 or older and present in Illinois. Bonus district is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max bonus, $25 per game. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals take on the Reds tonight. They lost 3-1 yesterday, but Kyle Gibson will take the mound as he goes up against Andrew Abbott. 5:40 first pitch. Tonight on 101 ESPN, you can listen to Game 4 between the Panthers and the Rangers. The Rangers lead that series 2-1. Pregame for that one starts at 6:30. We have Beat the Streak and Biggest Question of the Day coming up next. We got to get these picks in before the start time. That's coming your way next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center Update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
A Fast Lane driven by Scrap Mart.
hit baseballs.
All of my successes depend on me.
You're ready to hit.
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Time to play Beat the Streak with Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Andrew Marsh is here as well. And we have our Beat the Streak contestant. Who we got?
We have Brian today. He was here on Friday, but obviously they didn't play, so we're bringing him back.
All right. What's up, Brian?
Not much. How's it going?
Everything's going pretty well here. Marsh, go ahead and update the standings.
All right, so Jamie will go first. He still has a streak of 5 right now.
Attaboy, Jamie.
Next will be Carey, then you, Anthony, then me, then Brian.
All right, Jamie, fire it off.
Masyn Winn, please. You're welcome, Carey.
Appreciate it. It's on me next, right?
Yes.
Give me the other shortstop, Ellie Del Cruz.
Oh, that's a pretty good pick, too.
Come on, Carey. That is
fast.
Absolutely disgusting that you would go with a Cincinnati Red.
Here we go.
When the Cardinals are trying to bounce back right now, you would go with a Red.
He's going for Ellie.
Give me Tyler Stevenson of the Reds, please. All right, Marsh.
You know what? In honor of Carey and Jamie having a drink in their hand this weekend.
Several
drinks.
Several.
I'm going to go with Nick Martini.
Wow.
Of the Cincinnati Reds.
I see what you did there, Marsh. That was pretty good.
That was really good.
All right, Brian, who would you like?
Well, I'm glad Arenado didn't play because my luck, he wouldn't have got a hit all weekend.
All right, that's fair.
The one on Saturday. Give me Burleson.
Alec Burleson. Okay, there you go. Yeah, no kidding. All right, there you go. Let's beat the streak. Brian, good luck to you, man.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for playing.
Thank you.
All right, Marsh, what do you got for biggest question of the day?
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day.
All right, we got a text from the 636. Both the Blues and the Cards, I think, are going to have the same type of season. Not great, but not terrible either. What do the Cardinals and the Blues need to do to move beyond being the mediocre, middle-of-the-road teams?
Do you want to tackle this one from the Blues standpoint?
Yeah, I think for me, it's two different things, quite honestly. For the Blues right now, they're in a situation where Doug Armstrong and the front office have to continue to develop that youth. We've talked about it already today. We've talked about it quite a bit over the last calendar year, really. It's getting those high draft picks that you had, letting them develop, and then surrounding them with good veteran depth and some high-end players. And Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou are some high-end players. You got Pavel Buchnevich. So that right there could be your first line, which means you don't have to put one of those young guys into a role where they're immediately expected to produce outrageous numbers. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the Blues are kind of in a low and slow cooking phase right now where I feel like the Cardinals, they've got to turn up the flame a little bit here because people are sick of seeing some of that stuff.
Mm.
Well, no one likes this low and slow cooking process. We're a microwave society.
Salary cap world, Carey, as you know.
So the Cardinals
it's
should
hard
be
to
better.
just throw gas all over everything.
You got to keep your chins tucked and go low and slow, baby.
There you go.
Okay, wow.
For the Cardinals, find a way to be more consistent. Just continue. Like, the last stretch was really, really good. Let's see what tonight looks like. You know, you can have multiple reasons why you lost that first game in Cincinnati, but let's see what tonight looks like. Let's see if they can be more consistent throughout the season than not. And you're putting yourself, again, I said it a little last segment, I think they're putting themselves in a position with the players that they have. If everybody shows up to the party, meaning everybody comes to the plate with the bats ready to hit and does a good job at it, driving runners in, getting more than one guy on base in an inning, you generally have an opportunity to score that inning. And when you score more runs, Anthony, you usually win games. But you have to score more than the opposing team. I know it's news. Some people didn't get that. They didn't understand it. It happens that way.
I didn't at first.
There you go.
But after you explained it that way.
Breaking news. Yeah. You get a couple of guys on in an inning and get those guys to come home and touch the plate.
Mm-hmm.
You score, and then you score again. And then at the end, when you have more runs than the other team, They call that a W.
Man, I'm following you.
Yeah.
That's
So,
incredible.
The Cardinals need more of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think that as the young players go, the Blues and the Cardinals will go. We just got done talking about Masyn Winn and Alec Burleson and Nolan Gorman. If the Cardinals can get some of these young pitchers to develop in the minor leagues, and when they come up, they turn into middle or top of the rotation arms, that is the quickest way you jumpstart things as an organization. Jamie, you would have a better breakdown. You did for the Blues, but I think that as much as you have talked about the back end, the blue liners, getting some big, tough, physical blue liners in front of Jordan Binnington, that is your fast track. I'm not saying you shouldn't concentrate on your forwards and your offense, but we saw what happened in 19 when the Blues had the defensive core that they did. We have seen in the past when the Cardinals have had a rock-solid rotation and bullpen what they can accomplish. They won a World Series in 11, yes. They had Albert, and yes, they had Matt Holliday and Yachty and all those players there. John Mozeliak completely revamped the bullpen at the trade deadline that year and wound up making a huge difference. Pitching and defense, and then defense and goaltending. You want to win championships, there's your fast track. So that's kind of the way I look at it. Marsh, what about you? Don't just ask the question and then don't ponder it yourself, my man. Give it to us.
Yeah, you thought enough of the question to ask it.
Right.
It means it somehow.
It is the biggest question
of the day.
It got
you right in the feels.
Well said.
Oh, man. I just think ultimately they need to play better.
No, that kind of goes.
Sometimes
what Carey was talking about
is
with
the best answer.
I mean, they just have to play better.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Okay.
No, I think. Keep it simple,
hey,
stupid.
You know what?
The KISS theory.
We lift people up around here.
Hey,
we don't put people down.
Hey, don't be a Hugh. Come on.
Don't be a Hugh.
Don't be a Hugh.
Just holy.
Hugh just holy.
No,
incredible.
I think at the end of the day, the best players need to be your best players, whether that's Jordan Kyrou and Robert Thomas or Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado. It really comes down to them. They're making the most money on both of these teams, and if those guys are not playing at the level that is expected, then these teams are not going to win anything. They're going to be middle of the road, because at the end of the day, you don't have a ton of superstars or a ton of stars on these teams. Mm-hmm. You know, based on where we're located, you're not going to spend a ton of money. I think what they need to do is maybe be a little bit more creative. We saw Doug Armstrong try to be creative this past offseason. Didn't work out. Maybe he will be this upcoming offseason. Who knows? We talked about John Mozeliak being a little bit more creative, trying to trade some pieces. I wonder what that will look like come trade deadline if they're in the run to be a playoff team. You got to get creative if your roster doesn't stack up compared to some of the best teams in the league. And yeah, if you can just get in, perhaps you could end up being successful in the playoffs and not being a middle of the road type team.
There you go.
Yeah, to echo what Marshy's saying, I mean, I agree with that, but I think that both of these teams are kind of in different spots for different reasons. Mm-hmm. You know, you corner pieces to the Blues, like you said, Kyrou, Thomas, with their younger players. The corner pieces for the Cardinals are Arenado and Goldschmidt. So you have the same pieces. They're just, you know, one team is a little older, the other one's quite a bit younger. However, the Cardinals still trying to get young with Masyn Winn, Jordan Walker, who's starting to work his way back to the major leagues, and looks like they have a few other guys, too, that are on the rise in the next couple of years. But I think, honestly, the biggest thing to remember about both of these clubs is that legends never die.
You got us.
Well done.
I knew it.
Wow. Well done, man.
I felt it.
Nice job.
You did, huh?
Man.
Still got it.
You kind of got it.
I saw it just a little bit. I was like, yeah.
I didn't. I'll be honest. I didn't. I did not see that coming. I think that's fantastic. Yeah. Well done. All right. That's a mic drop for Jamie. We've got Bet the Board.
That means I can leave? All right.
Bet the Board. 3 stars of the day. Criticism, Scott Melentz next on 101 ESPN.
Not only is it heating up outside, it is heating up over there at Johnny Londoff Chevrolet. Johnny Londoff has so many great deals right now, whether it's brand new vehicles or pre-owned inventory. They have got you covered. Let's talk about some of their inventory. 2024 Silverado 1500 High Country, suggested retail price $74,800. The Londoff price $65,750. That's over $9,000 in savings. How about a Chevy Blazer? Suggested retail price on the Chevy Blazer RS is $45,515. The Londoff price is $6,000 cheaper than that. So please get over to the original location in Florissant, Missouri, or the brand new Londoff Autoplex located out in St. Peters. They're going to take great care of you. Get in there. Check out one of those brand new Chevy Trax. They got a new body style. I told you before, my son drives one. I drove it the other day. It's incredible. Super affordable price, too. And the customer service over at Londoff Chevrolet is the best in the business, which is why I've been a customer for over 25 years. And now my kids are customers as well. And I want you to get that same great price and same customer service. So please visit them in person or get there online. Visit them at londoff.com or londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
if you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 ESPN mobile app, brought to you by Star and Auto Centers. All right, gentlemen, time to bet the board. Marsh, run through those standings.
All right, let's look at this. Anthony, you are 10-8.
Yes.
Jamie is 6-12. Carey is 7-11.
Shush your face.
7-11. Carey is
always open.
Always open. I am 9-8, and why is that? Because there was not a game on Friday, and I had Shota Imanaga, his strikeouts. So I may have to. Oh, come on.
Let's really make that night memorable for you.
That's got to be an L, right?
Yeah.
An L
That's
for
up to
Marshy?
you guys. I can take the L like all three of you did on Friday, or I can pick twice today.
I think you should pick. I think we should play it like a regular season, and if you need to, at the end, pick
Double
twice.
down.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
At the end of the month.
So it's a nothing for you.
Yeah,
you don't take
okay.
the L.
Yeah.
But if
It's
we
like the
need
Cardinals
it,
game.
Yeah.
There'll be a doubleheader down the road.
So I get an extra pick on July 13th.
There you go.
if you
Or July 12th, I
No,
guess.
if needed.
on May.
No, in May, at the end of May.
End of May.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at the end of this, so basically at the end of this week, if it matters, if that game
pick
matters,
two- you
then
pick two games.
you got to pick two.
All right.
All right.
There you go.
I love a good you pick two. Shout out
Yes.
St. Louis Bread Company.
There you go. All right, gentlemen. I'm going to take the L.A. Dodgers tonight. Night. Yeah. They're minus 126 in Game 2 against the Mets. Good chance to take the Dodgers at a fraction of the price that you normally pay for them. So give me the Dodgers in Game 2 tonight.
Marsh, they have no idea what we're talking about.
No.
I do. That's a wrestler. I
good
just
job.
ignore you
All
guys.
right, this guy, he's catching on.
watching it.
He's catching on.
Yeah. I don't watch it. It's like my boys. It's like my boys this last weekend. You get so rowdy, and I just start to ignore you. Boy, were
nice.
they rowdy.
Rowdy Piper.
You guys, Carey, you missed King of the Ring this week.
What was the name of his TV show?
Oh, it was called Legends Never Die.
Oh.
Piper's Pit.
Piper's Pit. That's right. Yep.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one. No, I watch it every Saturday night. Yeah.
Wasn't on every Saturday night. Wasn't on every
Should have been, though. That's what I petitioned.
Once a month, you get Saturday night's main event.
Hey, either way.
Unfortunately, speaking of Saturday, speaking of wrestling, unfortunately, local product Randy Orton did not win King of the Ring. The Ring General.
He was robbed.
He got robbed is what he did.
He did get robbed.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But man, was it sweet seeing that RKO. Always is. All right, I'm going to pick the under 1.5 goals for the first period. Florida Panthers, New York Rangers.
The New York
Am I next?
Rangers.
Yes.
Okay, give me the over in the Timberwolves versus Mavericks game. Over 211.5.
211.5, he says.
Every game has been over that except for the first one.
Every day I'm hosting.
They got it.
All right. Panthers play the Rangers tonight, and I am going with my guy, Matthew Tkachuk, to get a point. The over-under set at 0.5 right now. If Florida's going to win this hockey game, he will have to contribute offensively. So I like this play.
There you go. All right, so that's bet the board, right?
Yes.
What do you got for criticisms and compliments?
From the 816, you guys suck. The sadness out of the car on the drive home. You go, Glenn Coco.
Hey, we appreciate it.
That was well done.
That was really well done.
That made me laugh.
From the 636.
We're laughing.
Compliments to the long weekend, a short week, and you gentlemen. Cheers to a great show.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate you.
I love this one. From the 636, I never truly knew the definition of the word hero until I listened to that Anthony Stalter.
Yeah.
What a guy.
You're welcome. And if Nolan Arenado hits a home run tonight, you're definitely welcome, St. Louis. I do what I can, guys.
We appreciate you.
I do what I can.
Appreciate your efforts. It does not go unnoticed.
Well, thank you, Gary. I appreciate you.
From the 636, Bill Walton is absolutely one of the coolest sports dudes to ever walk the face of the earth. He also knew a heck of a lot about St. Louis. He will surely be missed.
Indeed.
He did. Yeah. That was great. And we do have the Marsh, you did post it, right?
It's already posted. It's already up. And you can look at it either as a separate interview or you can find it in the full show, too.
There you go.
Bill Walton reminds me of Charles Barkley in a way. Not the way they act and things like that, but Bill Walton was one of the first ones to just do and say whatever he wanted to say during the broadcast. Funny stories, whatever it is.
He's going to do it his way.
Yeah, and Chuck has kind of done that in a different way, but putting his stamp on his own.
Yeah, no doubt.
Way of doing it.
Good call.
From the 636, I love Bill Walton. His interviews are like a cross between Whitey Herzog and Rex Hudler. Just put a microphone in front of him like Whitey and let them go. And the positivity of Rex. We lost a gem for sure.
Well said. Yep, absolutely.
Another one for Bill Walton from the 636. Man, I loved listening to that. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for listening. And we appreciate Bill giving us the time that he did a year ago for that. That was fantastic.
Are you guys ready for the 3 stars of the day?
Yes.
The 3rd star of the day is going to go to the tarp at Busch Stadium. I'm a big proponent of tarps off.
Likewise.
On the baseball field, on the beach.
Yeah, sure.
In the studio, shout out Josh Ennis.
Yeah.
Anytime. But especially on a Friday night at Busch Stadium.
Yeah, well said, Marsh. Well said.
It's way better with the tarp off.
It really is.
Yep.
It means you can play ball then, Anthony.
I know. Yeah, that's what I was telling you.
Yep.
Our 2nd star of the day goes to a snake pit participant, Hugh Jasoli is our 2nd star of the day.
And that's how we said it because we said the other thing. Yeah.
Jump in the snake pit, check it out for yourself.
Check it out. Right, exactly.
You'll see.
You'll see.
I could be wrong, but I don't know if Hugh has been in the snake pit all that much. I haven't seen Hugh Jasoli in there.
Today, very active.
Yeah.
Very active today.
Very active today.
Probably because the Cardinals are winning.
That's incredible.
Well, I know they lost yesterday, but
don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Exactly. One game's not going to set them back. No way. No how. Yeah.
Although BK, he's the conductor now. We got the hat there.
He wore the whole conductor outfit. He had the whistle and whatnot. So, yep. He
goofy bugger.
Can you blame him though? He's trying to get everybody fired up.
Yeah, but does he not remember the BKO? Where anything he cheers for?
Does that still exist?
Guys?
I don't know that would ever go away.
Because legends never die?
Yeah, I mean, like,
BKO never died.
The 3 worst letters in sports. BKO.
He's losing his mind with wrestling.
I like the passion, though.
Yeah.
I really do.
Who's our 1st star, Marshy?
1st star of the day, obviously going to Bill Walton.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go, Bill. We'll certainly miss what you bring to broadcast and what you bring to our lives, man. Good stuff. All right, we appreciate everybody being tuned in throughout the course of the day today. Thank you to the Snake Pit. Thank you to our texters, our listeners, everybody tuned in throughout the course of the show. We got Panthers and Rangers pregame starting at 6:30. That's that's after an instant replay, and we got Game 4 tonight as well between the Panthers and the Rangers. For Marsh, Carey, Jamie, Anthony, see ya.